What that got to do this year? Make sure y'all go on Facebook. Can you make sure y'all go on Facebook and share it as well. So I guess for the sake of the video, I guess we'll say it. Shabbat Shalom, family. Y'all ready? All right. So shalom to the family who's tuning in. Pray all is well with you all who's keeping Shabbat on this day. Honest to the elders amongst us, honest to the leaders, teachers, and those who are serving Yah's people in spirit and in truth. Today's lesson is going to be very interesting. The title of the lesson today is Modern Hebrew Marriages versus Ancient Hebraic Marriages. Fornication has crept in unawares. Yeah, I pulled the elder title. I'm gonna say it again. The lesson is called Modern Hebrew Marriages versus Ancient Hebraic Marriages. Fornication crept in unawares. I didn't put that on. So it's modern day Hebrew marriages versus ancient Hebraic marriages. Fornication crept in unawares. The reason we're doing this lesson is because I think more now than ever before, I've realized the divorce rate within, obviously we ain't got no people taking actual, stats and stuff in Israelite communities. But I believe we can all attest that there's an influx of divorces within the Hebrew community, an influx of sisters being led astray and led away from even the truth, mainly because of marriages. And a lot of sisters, unfortunately, come into the truth not seeking Yah fully, but because a man has brought them into the truth. And I just strongly believe that that is really the wrong foundation to come in this truth, because a man should not be the foundation of why you're in the truth. It should be Yah. The man should be the roof that helps the foundation you've come under stay stable. You see what I'm saying? And so you see an influx of a lot of divorces in Israel, and a lot of stupid reasons why. You rarely really hear people getting divorced because of fornication and adultery. Think about it. Well, for those who really involved in the community, you don't really hear about fornication and adultery or why a man's divorcing a woman, or vice versa. It's usually because it's a disagreement, misunderstanding, or he a narcissist, or he beating on me, or she trying to be a Jezebel and she's being rebellious. You rarely hear any of that. You rarely even hear a man saying a woman committed fornication and adultery. And so if it's not for the reason, then what's going on that we keep having an influx amount of divorces in Israel? And what I've come to realize is that we have come in Israel with the same ideology of love as we did in the world. And as you know, in the world, love is nothing but a mask of your lust, right? Love is nothing but a mask of your love or your lust, right? And so I want to go through some scriptures and really show this, man, because we really have to stop this. If we're supposed to be the generation of the people who's supposed to get us back, we are failing terribly. We are failing terribly. And that's because we're not dealing with the root cause of our problems in this community, which is, one, having the spirit of Yah and going into a ordained marriage. Because at the root of a nation or a kingdom is what? Family. So how are we having so many issues of divorces within the community? And we're going to get to it today. And I believe a lot of it, I'm going to just put it out there, and I'm willing to go to bat with anybody. A lot of it is having to do with this doctrine of saying sex is marriage. A lot of it has to do with this doctrine saying that sex is marriage. Literally, if you lay with her, that's your wife. And I understand, because I came in under the same ideology with that doctrine. That's what I was taught. Sex is marriage. You lay with a woman, you got to take her as your wife. I was taught that. And believe it or not, this is literally built off one scripture. One scripture alone. And I'm going to show you there is proper ways and protocols you must go in order for it to be an ordained marriage. I ain't saying marriage at all, but an ordained marriage where Yah is actually the foundation of that marriage. Because you can't sit here and say Yah's with you, Yah's in your marriage, and you constantly getting divorces. Negroes got 5 different wives since they've been in truth. Sisters got a plethora of different husbands since she's been in the truth. You know what I'm saying? It makes no damn sense. So what is going on? What is really going on? And we're going to get to the bottom line of it, man. We going to get to the bottom line of it, because that doctrine is causing a lot of fornication, and then want to put a sticker on it and say, woman, you can't go marry anybody. How was that when the foundation y'all even getting together was your lust? Right. It was straight up fornication in the beginning. It was straight up fornication in the beginning. And you gonna tell this woman who you fornicated with, she can't be with no other man. When the scriptures say that if a woman's with her husband, Negro, who even dubbed you as her husband in the first place? Where's the proof of it? And remember, everything must be established by how many witnesses? So what's the witnesses of these Negroes in this marriage? Hold on. One of the witnesses was a ketubah, right? Contract. The other witnesses was her father. And the last witness was what? Her blood. Because ain't Israel blood covenant, people? So what's the covenant? What has solidified your marriage? And brothers gonna have to take into account for this, and sisters, because we have literally been fornicating our way in a marriage. Fornicating. And then wondering why your partner ain't equally yoked with you, because y'all weren't supposed to be together in the first place. That's why. That's why. And here's the deeper part. We're gonna find out Negroes been covenant. Been covenant. Negroes been covenant. Covenant, yes. Negroes been covenant. Negroes have been literally covenant. And I'm mainly talking about, we're gonna get to it. Let's get to Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4 and 7. Oh, Negroes is woke up now. Hey, can y'all make if you on live, can y'all make sure can y'all tell me y'all see my screen? Can y'all see my screen? Proverbs 4 and 7. Can y'all see my screen? Hey, in the chat, if you in the chat, can y'all see my screen? Yeah, make sure y'all share this, because this is gonna save a lot of brothers and sisters heartaches, fornication, and defilement. Defilement. And this is the thing, and I'm gonna say this too. I know we hype, you know what I'm saying? I know we hype and whatnot, but this is not to put people down. This is to everybody get their house in order. You know what I'm saying? This is to get can y'all see my screen? I'm tripping. Oh, I ain't even share it yet. That's the problem. No, I'm tripping. No. Oh, there we go. All right, bet. Yeah, make sure y'all share this. Make sure y'all share this. It's about to be some heat. It's about to be some heat. See, I already got the question. Somebody already asked me, what about this? What about scripture that says the first woman you lay with is considered your wife? Where is that? Yeah, whoa, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what it says. Y'all make sure y'all share with your sister, share with your auntie, share with your mama who's still trying to find a husband, share with your brother. Oh yeah, it's that type of party today. Share it with everybody. Listen, we about to get some scriptural order within Israel. We about to get some scriptural order. because this have been bothering me for like 5 months. I done heard so many cases of sisters being left don't have a reason why they got left. You know what I'm saying? Brothers just want to say they need time. Brothers just want to say they need space and not really having no proof. And what I'm finding out is there's nothing to hold you accountable. There's nothing to hold you accountable to that woman or to that man. So you can easily say, you ain't my wife no more. You ain't my husband no more. Or even you can turn around and say, well, we was never married in the first place. I even heard people, they go their whole marriage saying, they married. That's my Lord. That's my king. That's my wife. That's my queen. Soon as they get divorced, something happen. They'll really turn around and say, you was never my wife in the first place. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. So we about to get into it. So the title of the lesson again is modern day Hebrew marriage versus ancient Hebraic marriage, fornication, crept, and unawares. So let's get to it. Proverbs 4:7. Proverbs 4:7. Yes, sir. Make sure you read boldly, y'all.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
What is the principal thing? Wisdom. Come on.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
And with all thy getting, get understanding. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14:40. Oh yeah, we hit.
It's too late.
We hit it going. Wisdom is the principal thing. And with all thy getting, get understanding. One thing we have to accept in the so-called black community, in the Hebrew community, is 1 Corinthians 14:40. One thing we have to accept in the Hebrew community, in the black community, is this. A lot of us don't know what the hell we doing when it comes to raising families. It's a fact. Because majority of us, if not really, 85 to 90% of us grew up in broken homes, right? Women grew up with bitter mothers, hurt mothers, mothers who had to fend for themselves because maybe a Negro left them. So she hardened her heart, right? Grew up with that. Men, majority grew up with women. So they grew up effeminate, emotional, not knowing how to balance their hormones, not knowing how to make decisions on their own because they were still on the tick till they was about 18 to 20.
Whoa.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of us have grown up and confused in broken states of minds. And then we come into this thing full of pride, like I found myself. No, this is where you should be lowering yourself and say, I don't know nothing. Somebody teach me. Somebody teach me. Who's taught you? Who's been your example of a true successful marriage? Who shows you the proper steps on seeking to get a wife or submitting to a husband or showing you even when you're going through hard times in your marriage, how to prevail? Who's been that example for you? And 90%, I even say 95% of us never seen that example. And we just winging it. And we just winging it. We just winging it. And so we so prideful and not accepting, we start creating these doctrines. Yeah, if I slept with it, that's my wife now. Or you got Negroes, even, and I'm for it. I whether you go with monogamy or polygyny, I'm for both styles. But even going into that, not having your house in order because you just want to have it. Not knowing that you still cannot diminish from the first, because that's law, and you still got to take care of the second. Yet your first wife taking care of you, and now you're trying to get a second wife to take care of you. Negro, you a son. You a son. Yeah. You a son. So Negroes is going really backward. I mean, I've heard it all. Negroes ain't got to work. They supposed to be teaching the word. Negro, you supposed to be living the word. You supposed to be living the word first. Even if you really break down Psalms 51, David is literally saying he's humbling himself and asking the Father to purge him and to cleanse him. And once he's cleansed, or let's use this word, healed, then he can teach sinners how to repent. Most of us Negroes ain't healed. We're not healed from our daddy issues. We're not healed from our mama issues. We're not healed from our ex issues who dumped us for another Negro. We're not healed from our ex-husbands who chose probably a white woman over us. And I ain't trying to be funny, but these is real issues people going through. But then we come into Israel literally trying to teach people marriage. Trying to teach people 4,000-year-old, probably more than that, culture that you just learned 2 days ago, 10 days ago, 10 years ago.
Reading in this book, in the first few chapters, Paul is admonishing his church because he's like, I want to give you guys the deep mystery, but I gotta feed you guys milk.
Right.
You haven't gotten over the first steps and first lessons. I
exactly.
Feed you guys milk. I can't give you the deep stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the thing is, a lot of these men and women are not even married for ready for marriage because they haven't even gotten through the first steps.
Exactly.
Not even off the milk yet.
And like the elder Thomas say, like, bro, you got to learn how to be a good son first before you be a good husband. You haven't even fulfilled your first duty as a son, as a brother. You know what I'm saying? You haven't fulfilled your role as a husband, but you want to have children that you're literally passing on that same confusion and trauma to. That stuff is real. What do you think generational curses is? I guarantee we go back 2, 3, 4 generations. I guarantee it's about 4 or 5 things in your life that you got a problem with that was the same problem your great-great-grandfather had. But you want to talk about marriage. You want to talk about what it is to be a man, woman. How are you king and all that other stuff. How are you going to teach that? You haven't even healed from the generations of trauma that was passed down to you. We still dealing with the trauma of even going back to Adam. We haven't dealt with that right there. Because we still got niggas to this day since Adam blaming a woman. You know what I'm saying? Blaming a woman why they ain't upright. Blaming a woman why they can't get a job. Blaming a woman why they can't be successful. Doing the same. How are we doing the same thing Adam did to this day? It gotta make sense. Because Negroes are not taking the proper steps of healing, being built up, being refined, and then learn. Then you gotta learn how to till before you actually till. You see? And we're so far removed from the rites of passage, so far removed from following the ancient ways of our ancestors, we literally out here winging it and fornicating and sin while doing it. But we talking about we about to be free. We about to be free. So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. First Corinthians 14 and 40. And this is, for those in the comments, this is not merely about marriage itself, but this is about how to have the proper and pure functional process to marriage so you can have a solid foundation in marriage. You see, y'all get what I'm saying? So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Let all things be done decently and in order. You cannot go out of order when it comes to having righteous foundation. You cannot be a thief in the night. And a lot of us have been thieves in the night on how we want to pursue a wife. Just a fact. And this is why the Most High said we are out here making whores out of the daughters of Zion. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So let's get to it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. And this is so deep. We read up and down about the 10 Commandments, but we don't want to go into detailed accounts of what's in this man's house. Was he being specific in this verse? Or was he just trying to give you overall to not cover anything in that man's house? Let's see. Come on.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not
Hold on. Say the first part. Slow down.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Is he just talking about a physical house? Huh? When we say the house of Israel, when we say the house of Yaakov, what are we talking about? It was under his house.
His wife, his servants.
His wife, his servants, and his children. And his children. Keep going.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor.
Nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And what does coveting mean? Ooh, to lust after, to desire to want something that's not his or hers. Y'all understand? And above all these physical houses, we are the house of who? The Most High. So you even got to get his permission on how to move forward in life, including with your wife, or supposed to be wife. So, what is love? And I wanted to pull this out because I'm going to give y'all the American version of love. Love is a feeling. This is literally the American version of love. Kid you not, you can look it up. Love is the feeling of strong or constant affection for a person. Attraction that includes sexual desire. The strong affection felt by people who have a romantic relationship.
That's love.
That's the definition of American love. I'll read it again. Love is the feeling of strong or constant affection for a person. Attraction felt by people who have a romantic relationship. Now, what does romance mean? Let's see what romance means. Romance means a feeling of excitement, a mystery associated with love. Still nothing tangible. Still nothing tangible. So, how they view love is literally moving off emotions. They're moving off their feelings. And believe it or not, feelings have no thought. It has no thought. Because a Negro can say it's not for me and still move towards it because he moved by feelings. I know this woman ain't good for me, but damn it, she got a round butt. I know this brother ain't for me, but damn, he got some muscles. You know what I'm saying? We're moved by emotions. Feelings. We're moved by feelings, not considering the cost. Just because something look good don't mean it's good for you. Jeremiah 3:1. Yeah, brother, whatever that, I don't know what you're talking about as far as that comment about the Canaanites. You're going to have to elaborate on that. Let's go to Jeremiah 3:1. Come on.
It is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
They say, if a man put away his wife.
Come on, speak up. Out.
They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him,
right,
and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
And what's that land could also refer to? Land is also what? Soil. Right? It's not that soil. Why are we going through this? Because sister, I also want y'all to understand y'all value. And brother, I want you to also understand. And their loss of value. Exactly. And we're going to get to that too. Their loss of value. And brothers, y'all to understand not only their value, but their loss of value as well. Because the whole point of us doing this thing called walking in truth is for the truth to set us free from all things that has kept us bondage, including our lust, including our fornicating ways, our adultery, our murderous thoughts. I mean, I say that because Negroes will kill over a woman, literally. For real. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my cousin, but my cousin literally was killed over a woman. You know what I'm saying? So literally, brothers will move in murderous ways over defiled soil, not considering the cost of this thing because we have lost the value or the value we once had, and we're not even trying to put the value back on ourselves. And the only way you put the value back on yourself is recognizing that you have lost your value. So they say if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man, let's keep going.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
Start over, bro.
But thou hast played the harlot.
No, start the whole verse over.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
Mm-hmm.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
So we as Israel have played the harlot with many lovers. That's not just women. Because again, remember, most of the time he's talking to who? He's talking to the men. So brother, we have put our sisters and even our family in a place of being considered a harlot. Because we constantly fornicated and committed adultery with other gods. Come on.
Yet return again to me, said the Lord.
Come on, keep going.
Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lying with. In the ways hast thou set for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy
with thy what?
Whoredoms, and with thy wickedness.
Now watch this, verse 3.
Therefore the showers have been withholding, and there have been no latter rain, and thou hast a whore's forehead.
Thou hast a whore's mind. Thou hast a whore's mind, Israel. Men and women. Come on.
Refusest to be ashamed.
Thou refusest to be ashamed. And that's how Israel be. We come in this thing, but it's so crazy. We really got this thing thinking because you come into repentance that you're a literal virgin now. Whoa. Show me the sheep. If that's the case, show me the sheep. Y'all has regenerated that little socket. I need to see the blood now if that's the case. No. What he's saying is we come to a place that we even come into understanding that we've done this thing and still don't humble ourselves. Still, men and women. And that's the point of this thing, because we are supposed to be a reflection of Yah's kingdom in heaven within us. Believe it or not, you're not in God's image unless you're in oneness with your wife. Think about it. Think about it. You're really not. He didn't say, Adam, you're a God, or you're in our image. He didn't say, Eve, you're a God, you're in our image. He said, we have made man, he, them, in the image and likeness. We are one. We become one face, one mind, one body. But when you constantly playing the harlot, which the harlot carries many spirits because he sleep with many people and many gods, you become more like a legion to yourself. You're not a God, you're not a God's image. You are. You were literally many gods. You are polluted with different gods, different mindsets, different ideologies, different men, different women, with many different other spirits that we don't even know about. Your spiritual connection probably reached very far in the demonic realm. That's how many people you connected with because you didn't do the proving process. You didn't go through the rites of passage. You didn't go through the right way of even how to pursue a wife nor get a husband. And you're wondering why your marriage is failing. You wondering why sisters are saying, I can't trust these men. Literally. You wondering why sisters say, I don't need a man. I can deal with Christ by myself in that way. You wondering why? Because Israel literally is in the hurt business. Hurt people, literally. Literally. So we have literally played the harlot. We have become a whore. And we refuse to even be ashamed. And that's the only way you even become clean. Is become shamefaced. Get on your knees and repent. And turn away from that wickedness. Whether that be fornication, whether that be your ideology of what the world is, whatever the case is, you're supposed to turn away from that thing. Period. Men and women. So let's deal with what a divorce is. Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy 24. Did I spell that right? I did not spell that right. 2018. 24. Let's see what real divorce is. Come on.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1. When a man had taken a wife and married her, And it came to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her.
And what would that uncleanness be, y'all? Let's take a guess.
Not keeping God's not keeping the Most High's commandments, or not.
You could look at it, it is a spiritual application, obviously, and a physical application of fornication and adultery. It is. It is. Huh?
She allowed other people to cover her or allowing other
ideologies. Yeah. Right? But this is the crazy part, right? How many of us choose women in the world to try to bring into the truth? Literally make her our wife or him my husband, but then try to wash all those guys away. Bro, you in whole covenant with them guys by now. You gotta wash her and your damn self. That's the point of the proving process, the courting process. You're supposed to wean that stuff out. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to wean that stuff out. And we just truly don't go through that process. This is why we find things like he has no faith, unclean, because we was literally putting away women and not really having the right protocol on how to do it. So literally Moses, through the Most High, had to make a law for this. Because remember, Mashiach said himself, this type of behavior was not so in the beginning. Did Adam divorce Eve?
Look at this. They were in the wilderness.
That's a fact.
It's only a few of you guys.
That's a fact.
It's a small window.
That's a fact.
Like passing this woman to that man, and like she gonna come right back around to you sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. But it was never supposed to be so in the beginning. It was never supposed to be divorce. It was because of our wicked heart that Moses created this. That he had to give a pathway for us to try to stay in line. If you really pay attention, everything y'all try to, you know how if you walk straight, or it's this type of maze, and usually it gives you different pathway to go to try to get to the end. But then there's also a way where you literally get yourself off the board. So y'all created these pathways to try to keep us on track and not just get us off the board. So one of those ways to stop the fornication or stop the adultery or stop these things was create a system of divorce, because we kept doing it so much. We kept doing it so much. Because again, Mashiach said himself, you have heard in old times how Moses gave you this, and that, bill of divorce. But it was not so in the beginning.
You have to understand, like, our forefathers, like 400 years ingrained in Egypt culture.
That's a fact.
They were having all kind of like orgies and passing women and doing all this stuff. So all this happened like it erased from their mind.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's keep going on.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement.
Now I want to pay attention, because again, this is another thing. Remember I said you don't really hear a lot about divorce, fornication or adultery while people separate. So brothers have literally created a doctrine, period. Now, if she leaves, it's a different story. But brother, if you give her a bill of divorce, she's free. Brothers literally have said, we divorce. You can't go be with another man. You can't go be with another man. This is the doctrine that's being created, but we see here in Deuteronomy. This is why the law of the Torah is so important, because niggas got to be held accountable. They got to. So we see here, if there is issues where we see some uncleanliness in you, as long as it's not fornication or adultery, right? Well, she only really can commit adultery. It's the man who commits fornication. If she commits adultery, if she don't do that, she has the right to go with another man. As we read here. Come on. Read verse 2 again.
And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
She may be what?
Be another man's wife.
Right. Why do you think y'all made that so? Why do you think he made it so for a woman can have another chance of redemption?
She won't be uncovered.
So she won't be uncovered. so she would not be uncovered. And we got Negroes literally indoctrinating our sisters and forcing them to be uncovered because this ideology of how marriage or divorce is supposed to go. And that's how you know how sick in the mind these Negroes is, man. That they were literally, for their own desire and really their own vendetta, will cause a woman not to be covered just for the satisfaction that no other man can have. Come on, man. Let's keep going.
And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand,
Right.
and send her out of his house,
Right.
or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife,
Right.
her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife.
Right, because at that point, the land is polluted. The soil has been touched by another idea, another sensation, another desire, another whole mindset, another master. And the thing is, I ain't gonna get too scientific. Can.
Once you become a god with somebody, that person is almost
Mm-hmm. And here's the deep part about it is that women, and I said this before, but I want to say it again. I know we got sisters on here. Women, when you lay with men, especially one who is literally, injecting in you his DNA, after a while, literally, his DNA takes a hold of you. It literally takes a hold of your immune system, becomes a part of you. Becomes a part of your mind, literally. And then you wonder why you're in relationships and this man may do something small, but you just had a whole flashback of how a man just slapped you. All he did was take one step and maybe raise his voice. You got a whole flashback. Got a whole flashback. Yeah, because men literally, through their prostate, releases this chemical within their sperm that literally not only can suppress the woman's immune system, but it literally starts to become a part of her blood system. Literally. So women are literally walking around with all these different men and spirits on them because we have bought into the idea that sex is okay before marriage. It's really about the mind. Although a lot of us was taught, save sex till marriage, but America and media teaches it's okay to have sex. It's about the mind. It's not about your body and nothing like that. It's about your mind. No, it's about the whole thing. Because if any man have touched you internally or externally, a man literally prints on a woman. A man literally prints on a woman. So yes, it does matter. All that does matter. And this is why women must keep themselves in these hours, man, because I'm telling you, it's an influx of fornication, crept and unawares going on because of this understanding alone. And it's leading brothers astray and it's leading sisters away. Really. I'm talking about to the point sisters don't want to be in the truth no more. But we got this thing, the truth, she was never in the truth, she had to leave. No, brother, you don't think that maybe you hurt her that bad? That she actually had faith that you was going to lead her to the Father? But you want to say, she was never in the truth. Yeah. Another way, man, brother. We just doing it wrong, man. Keep reading out.
Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled. For that is an abomination before the Lord.
It's what?
It's an abomination.
So woman, if you literally, whatever reason, get divorced by your husband, and you go to another, and whatever happened to him, maybe he divorced you, maybe he died. You are not supposed to go back to that other man. It's an abomination to the Most High. Yes, sir.
Can that woman marry again?
Can she marry again?
If her latter husband dies or puts her away, can she go to another dude?
Yeah.
A third man?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He just gonna have to make sure she clean, and she's been thoroughly cleansed, going through that purification. Which I would suggest that to all sisters who maybe not be married, or even if you're in the courting process, go through a purification because you got to get that stuff out you. You know what I'm saying? You should not be bringing anything that you thought was, whatever, to this marriage. Don't bring your pain into the marriage. Don't bring your trauma, your hurt into the marriage. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to. Even Hamashiach, he's not coming back for a wounded wife. Coming back for a wife without spot or blemish. So that means beyond his instructions that have been given to you, you still got to do the inner work. This is what it is. Is anybody teaching us on this level to do that? No. We literally walking around thinking because we got fringes, earrings on, head wraps, long garments on, that we good now. Nah, you still got some inner demons working in you that you have not released since your childhood. And you got it so buried that you thinking it's the third man you've been with, but he was nothing but a reflection of what happened to you in your childhood. It's just the real thing, and we don't want to talk about it because it's one of them unspoken things, like molestation. It happens. It really does happen. And are we healed from it? Rape happens. Are we healed from it? And are we bringing that same trauma in the relationship? And I'm not talking about women, because men out here got raped too, got molested as well, for real. And they have not healed. And that's literally some of a lot of men's causes of lusting anyway. You got raped so long, molested so long, now all you want is that sensational feeling of release. Because in the midst of you getting raped or molested, you had to go to another place in your mind. And in that situation, now that's the only place outside of this chaos you find release. That's why sex can get so numb now. It means nothing no more. When it's very spiritual, sex is very spiritual. It's a very spiritual connection. It's a very much oneness of spirit coming together and creating something beautiful. Why? Because we know the marriage bed is not what? Defiled. So it got to be spiritual. And in order for it to be spiritual, you must first be cleansed. The washing in the water. And when he came up, the dove descended upon him. Everybody must go through a cleansing process before getting in covenant with anything. Israel had to literally go through a proving, which we know the wilderness process, before going into this place prepared by their husband. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. So let's go to Ezekiel 16. Why am I going through this? Because this is actually one of our people's problems. Let's see what one of the things of fornication was. Woo, some people ought to be mad at this, but it's in the scripture. Ezekiel 13. Ezekiel 16 and 13. This is how deep we got. This is how far gone we went.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16?
Chapter 16, verse 13. Watch this. Come on.
Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was a fine linen, and silk, embroidery work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceeding beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a kingdom.
Right.
And thou renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty.
Right.
For it was perfect through my comeliness.
Through my comeliness. Let's point that out. Through my comeliness. Through my image. Through my likeness. Through my instructions were you beautified. Not your own. Come on.
Which I have put upon thee, said the Lord God. But thou didst trust in thy own beauty.
Thou what?
In thy own beauty.
In thy own beauty.
And playedest the harlot because of thy own
beauty. Come on.
And pourest out thy fornications on everyone that passes by.
So we just busted open for everybody. We just laid it out for everybody. And that's men and women. But then we come into this truth acting like we supposed to get bowed down to. We kings and queens. And I'm with it. I'm with it for empowerment. But bro, you just came out of a fortified, fornicated life. You have not reached that epitome of God yet. Right now, you lowly in your face, a servant. You got to start from the ground up, literally. But we come up trying to fix a crown that was never there. Not doing the first work, which was truly repentance. So I know some of y'all like, what does that got to do with marriage? It has everything to do with marriage. Because a lot of us getting married too puffed up. A lot of us getting married acting like we better than we are. A lot of us literally getting married as if we real virgins. And why am I saying that? Because literally a virgin had a high price. Negro, you'll be lucky if you got some cow skin. For real. I'm using that now because most of the things we offered as a dowry was what? Animals. A high price. So you'll be lucky if you got cow skin. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be lucky if you got that. Talking about submit to me. Submit to me, treat me like royalty. We in the trenches together right now trying to get cleansed. You know what I'm saying? We in the trenches together trying to get cleansed. I'm gonna make sure I'm talking to let y'all know I'm talking about brothers and sisters, man. We've been doing this thing all wrong, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna show you the key why. One of the main keys, we have no accountability. Beyond the book, we have no physical accountability. That's why you got Negroes, individuals running around here now fornicating, making all type of reasons why they had to leave the woman. No, Negro, the only reason you with her in the first place is because you slipped up. That's it. It's okay. It's okay. You just reap what you sow in the beginning. She was just nothing but a reflection of your lust. And that's okay, but you got to eat that now. You got to eat that now. Verse 15 again.
But thou didst trust in thy own youth.
Come on.
You playest the harlot because of thy renown, and pourest out thy fornications on everyone.
You busted open. You was just wide open down the street. Come on.
His it was. And of thy garments thou didst take. And deckest thy high places with divers colors, and playest the harlot thereupon, the like thing shall not come. Neither shall it be so.
Right.
Thou hast taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I have given
now,
thee.
pay attention to this. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels and of my gold and of my silver. What did they do?
Which I have given thee, and madest to thyself images of man, and didst commit whoredom with them.
We literally took the gold and silver. And if you go into the depths of this, bro, we literally made dildos out of our silver and gold. Look at it. You'll find it. It's in Egyptian history, bro. We literally made dildos, bro, and was using it. And you wondering why it's so much of that right now. Even still in Israel. Yeah, sisters want to hide it, brother. You still using it. Vibrators, all that. Wow. Hey, you know, brothers kinky. Wow. Bro, yeah, I did. Hey, bro, listen, we taking the blanket off this whole thing. We taking the blanket off this whole thing. Brothers already doing the same thing. They literally taking it as a substitute for where they lack at for their women. Come on, man. Brothers doing the same. Bro, look it up. I'm not lying to you. Look it up. Look it up, bro. We did this. We took our finer things and made dildos out of it. It's called a phallic. Look it up. And it was literally made after an Egyptian deity. Come on.
When it says, "It made us to thyself images of men," that's what that means. No,
keep going. Because it was talking about the jewel. And think about an image of a man. What is this image? How you I mean, it don't get no more clear than that, huh? Yeah, you would commit fornication with his nose? It could be, literally. But when you go into the history, they literally made images of a man's rod. It's an actual deity. It's an actual deity. For real. So, huh? Yeah, literally. I'm dead serious. Literally. So, what is actual lust? Now, y'all remember the definition of love, right? Y'all remember the definition of love, right? Now, I'm about to read y'all the definition according to America what lust is. It says a feeling of strong desire, especially such a feeling driven by sexual arousal. I'm going to read love again. A feeling of strong, constant affection for a person. Attraction that includes sexual desire. What's the difference? There is none. There is no difference between the westernized version of love and lust. And we have literally bought into this romanticized fairy tale. Huh? Zane books, notebooks, all type of love movies, Tyler Perry movies. Literally, we have bought into the idea that's what love is. That's what love is. We have literally bought into the idea if a man puts a ring on it, he loves me. No matter how much he do for you. The real love is if he gives you a materialistic thing. Hey, Shema, y'all, Shema.
Remember that, like I said, I had to save my wife from danger. She swear from down that dude.
Okay. Now this is the deep part. So y'all got the definition of love, right? Y'all got the definition of lust. Now we're gonna go into the Hebrew. The lust in the Hebrew, the word for lust is nafesh. Guess what lust means? Seat of emotions. Seat of emotions. The seat of your emotions. Your emotions. You're moved by emotions. But Hebrew, the word for love in Hebrew is ahab or ahava or ohed, which literally means God's love towards mankind, which is a total different meaning of love. Because Mashiach told us in John 14:15, if you love me, what? And commandment keeping is what? An action? It's tangible. It's tangible. Why am I talking like this? Because we have to really, and I'm even talking about people who marry, because we got to start measuring our feelings, our emotions with the scripture. Am I moving in emotion? Which Satan plays on emotions very easily. Very easy, especially on women. But he also does with the men too. He plays on emotion. Is my emotion, can it be validated by scriptures? And if the answer is no, you better rebuke that thing. Because that ain't the most high. That's Satan. You dealing with Satan in that moment. And why am I bringing us up in this marriage? Because most of us is moved by the seat of our emotions of who we want to be with. Of who we want to be with. And this is where you got to be real honest with yourself. Real honest with yourself. Why did you get with the person you with now? Can you really say right now that that person you with has a tangible economic push towards your success in building your kingdom? And if you still can't answer the question, I guarantee it has everything to do with the seat of your emotions. You was moved by your lust. And believe it or not, lust ain't always just about you want to have sex with somebody. It can literally be, because we always talk about it, it can literally be men talking about, I just want her because she's a good trophy. She looks good on my arm. She makes me feel like somebody. You know what I'm saying? She gives me this ooey gooey feeling that I can't explain. Yeah. Getting your Halle Berry on, men too. Telling your woman, I just want you to make me feel good. Just want to feel good. And think about it. This the crazy part is she was literally moving her emotions based upon her trauma. Woo! Based upon her trauma. Yeah. And she literally stooped low to be with a damn white man, to fulfill a feeling of emotions, to take away this trauma she just went through. When literally that emotion or that feeling only supposed to be filled with Yah's love. It's only supposed to be filled with Yah's love. Think about it. You can't really be happy. Anybody can be happy with yourself. You can't give anybody purpose if you ain't got purpose. And the whole thing we missing is the whole purpose of marriage is to build a kingdom. That's called economy. Anybody emotional because I feel good. All you're going to do is make emotional ass children. They're going to be moving like you too. And all you're making is emotional, broken ass children doing the same damn mistakes you doing. I'm serious. We got to hear it this way because we got to stop pushing our emotional trauma on our children. They don't deserve that. They don't. Because you wanted to fulfill the flesh, the lust of your flesh. You wanted comfort. You wanted ice cream in a movie, Netflix and chill. That's what you wanted. And to complete that, you wanted some ride or some quaba to fulfill the night. And oops, you had an oops marriage. You had an oops marriage. Damn, what did I get myself into? Now I got to deal with it. Got an oops family. Mr. Oops. Lord Oops. Just saying, man. So we see. So now, let's go to Matthew 22. Yeah, a lot of us is oops kids. You gotta be honest with yourself. Now, is you in an oops situation like the ones who made you oops? Be honest. Be real with yourself. That's what literally the elder always said. The curse is literally to destruct the family, man. 22, verse 37. And then we talk about and another man shall lie with her. That's part of the curses. You right. Because now y'all divorced because your situation, now another man got to deal with it. Why should another man have to deal with trauma or another woman have to deal with trauma? You understand? So let's get to it. Matthew 22, verse 37. Let's see what the Most High's love towards mankind is. Come on.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37.
Come on.
And Yeshua said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. Mm-hmm. This is the first and great commandment. Mm-hmm. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Mm-hmm. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Now this deep. We're going to go into this real quick. Read verse 37 again for me.
Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind.
Now, when you go to the etymology of these words, so we start with heart first. Pay attention. Heart means the seat of spirituality. That's the difference. Your lust is dealing with the seat of your emotions, but your heart, which is your mind, is dealing with the seat of spirituality and intelligence. Right? And then it said, with all your soul. And your soul, which means that also means the seat of your emotions, because you definitely have to have balance with that, right? But then it says your mind. Here's the deep part. It means to exercise and implicate the action of being involved and assimilated. So you must have all these three in one that agree with one. We only deal with one part of it, which is emotions. And it's funny that soul and lust is one in a kind by definition. They literally use the same definition. Soul and lust both mean seat of emotions. Because obviously we're going to have that soul, because that's the same soul Adam had, which he was moved by emotion. That part of him overcame the heart and the mind. Because he didn't have his seat of spirituality, his heart in tune with Yah. You understand? In that moment. So read from 37 again.
Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. So look, the first and great commandment should be in your mind before getting married is this. Are you in tune with the Father and have 2 or 3 witnesses, which is your heart, mind, and soul? Because, sister, this is the only way you discern if it's the right man for you, not by your emotions, but having the instructions and spiritual intelligence to see if this man is right for you. Did Yah send him? Literally, did he send him? But if you're not moving with this and you moving too much with this, you're not gonna see that. Because you're moving by lust. You're moving by your soul and not all 3 in one.
You understand? So let's go to Genesis 29. So now what we did from a Hebraic aspect, we have literally separated the difference between love and lust. Would y'all agree? Have we separate? Do everybody have a clear understanding between the difference?
Hebraic love versus
Lust, or even Hebraic love versus American love, or Roman love. Y'all understand the difference? You understand? Huh? Okay.
What did you say? About the,
Genesis chapter 20. Huh?
What did you say about the mind in Hebrew?
The mind is dealing with is to exercise and implicate the action of being involved and simulated. So, with that being said, let's go to Genesis 29 and 20. Let's get some examples. And so I did put something together for this. So lust is moved by feelings and emotions alone with no verified evidence of love. That's what lust is. Lust is moved by feelings and emotions alone with no verified evidence of love. Versus Hebraic love is connecting and assimilating of a spiritual, intellectual, and physical level by way of evidence to prove such things. That is true Hebraic love. That is true defining of if we're one or not, or if we're meant to be together. What is the tangible evidence that you're purpose for me? And that's how sisters and brothers need to start moving. It's literally what can you do for me? And that's on both sides. And that's fair. What can you actually do for me? On a Hebraic level. I ain't talking about what can you do for me. You can cuddle me and talk to me all night. I'm not talking about that cute stuff. I'm talking about some, can we build a kingdom together? Can we build a nation together? Can we be fruitful and multiply? The instructions that Yah's giving us, can me and you actually do this together? That should be the actual question. The instruction that Yah's giving us, can me and you actually do this together? And if you can't see that, y'all better run. Because y'all ain't full of a path of hurt. Literally. So let's get some examples. Genesis 29. Genesis 29. Genesis 29, we're going to start at verse 20. Let's get some examples. I'll make sure y'all share this as well, man. We're on Facebook Live.
29, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel.
And Jacob served 7 years for who?
Rachel.
Was those 7 years tangible?
Okay.
Was he married to her yet?
No.
Come on.
And they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her.
For the love. Again, love is not just emotion, but it's an action. So to anybody who wants anything, it's nothing but a thing. It's a little thing. It's a little thing to a giant. It's not that much. Especially when you know the person you working to get is actually beneficial to your kingdom. And Rachel saw that not Rachel, but Jacob saw that by way of who raised him. He understood what Hebraic marriages was. He understood what Hebraic love was. He was not confused or moved by emotions. You understand that? Let's keep going.
Verse 21.
Yes, sir.
Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
Hold on. So did Jacob just go into her?
No.
Who he had to talk to first? Oh, he had to actually talk to the authority over her. Who he just couldn't just go in there willy-nilly and say, oh, we married, baby. Nah, he had to go to the one who was greater than himself and ask, could he have permission to now go in and marry his daughter? Come on, let's get another example of what love is. 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel. And we're going to come back to that story. It's going to be very beneficial to what we're talking about. And a lot of you Negroes are going to have to repent. Because y'all out here literally making whores of our daughters, man. And you sisters too. Who literally taking advantage of a weak Negro. Come on.
1:26.
1:26. 2 Samuel verse 1:26.
This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 26. I am distressed for thee, my brethren. Jonathan, very pleasant hast thou been unto me.
Very what?
Very pleasant hast thou been unto me.
And if anybody know the David and Jonathan story, what was he talking about?
A relation.
By way of what? What did he do for him? Huh? He what?
Yeah, the king.
How did he protect him? By way of his what? He put his what on the line? His life. Was not Mashiach talking about this is the greatest thing anybody can do for you? One who puts his life on the line for you. Some of you Negro can't even name the parent of your woman. You can't even name the parent of your woman. Yet you married to her, and it's supposed to be one who will put their life on the line for you. Because remember, we talking about Echad, right? Echad, which is not just a helper, but she was literally a soldier. And what soldiers do? They will fight and die for you. But some of us, we so moved by what we see. We're not tapping into this. We're not tapping into the spirit. So we just so moved by what we see and how good it's gonna feel that we not realize, can I really put my life in this person's hands? Y'all see what I'm saying? Can I put my life in this person's hands? And if I'm be honest with you, if you can't really say that with confidence, that ain't love you dealing with. If you can't say with confidence the person you with that you will put your life on the line for them, or you feel they will put their life on the line for you, that's not love. You dealing with a situation that you just got to deal with due to lust. Keep going. Verse 26 again.
I am distressed for thee, my brother. Jonathan, very pleasant hast thou been unto me. Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of woman.
Now, most people look at, these talking about being gay. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was saying, because the greatest love really on this earth, or the greatest partner he going to have is your woman. This just straight up. It's going to be your woman. But their relationship was so tight and so knitted. He said, man, it surpassed that. Like, I feel like you literally, because why we feel like that? Because Jonathan literally, really stepped against his father for the sake of his life. The whole plan together. He literally put his life on the line against his father for David's sake. He technically disobeyed one of the top 10 commandments for David's sake. So this wasn't anything about being homosexual. He was saying, bro, you literally went against your authority for my life. No greater love. And we're going to prove that because Mashiach bring it out. John chapter 10, verse 17. John chapter 10, verse 17. Let's get it out.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, doeth my Father love me because I lay down my life.
Say it again.
Therefore, doeth my Father love me because I lay down my life.
So do he love him because he love him?
No.
Or he love him because he serve him?
Sure.
No?
He served him.
Come on, people. Do we love him because he just love him, or do we love him because he's serving him? Therefore, my Father do love me because I lay down my life that I might take it again. So this has everything to do. Everything. I mean, everything to do with who you're with. Because literally, on a spiritual, psychological, and physical level, it can be life or death who you choose. You all right, Aki? Shalom, shalom, man. Love you too. Seriously, it could be a life or death situation, and we don't really consider these things. We really don't consider the cost, man. If you seen a bando, you saw everything inside of it. You saw every piece of work that need to be done, and you consider how much your budget is versus how much its cost is gonna be. Some of us Negroes will still buy the bando. You got $100,000 budget. It's gonna take at least $250,000 alone to fix this house, and you still buy in. And not only did you buy into it, you will even take the debt cheerfully and then reconsider later. That's the same way Negroes do women, and women do men. It looked good. It got potential. It got potential. It could be something great. Sure, we can buy. I can't see potential, but I'll buy into it. I don't know what it's gonna look like at the end, but I'll buy into it. Nothing tangible to show this is gonna be great, but it just looked good. It just looked good. And then you buy into it, you spend time, you spend money, you spend wisdom and knowledge of teaching and building up just to find out, damn, why did I make this decision? Damn. I knew, we always said, man, I knew I should have listened to the first voice. Children, Shema. We always said, I knew I should have listened to the first voice. That was that mind and heart talking to you. But you wanted to just deal with the soul the whole time because it was potential. It was potential. I'm pretty sure that's the same reason Israel left the Canaanites in the land, although he was supposed to wipe them out. The potential of them actually being good. We always fall in love with potential, and we always end up more cursed than more. And we ain't learned our lesson yet. We ain't learned our lesson yet. We would literally say, he seems like a good man. She seems like a good sister. But what the hell do seem look like? Because she talked to you sweet. You're going to be a great man. You're so inspiring. You just inspire me to do better. Oh, baby, you're an independent woman. Get your Jamie Foxx on. I love it because she got her own. Fall in love with the potential, boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, he said the whole time this is going, I love it because she got her own. Then when you still here struggling, it's like, nigga, I got my own. Damn, I did sing about that, didn't I? I did sing about that. That is what attracted me to her, wasn't it? Now that same thing you attracted, now is against you.
There's this case now, like this lady met this dude that was living in his car. Had a baby. Yeah, now she's training the baby to call him a deadbeat.
Wow. Wow.
Like, he had a car.
Yeah.
Bad hard luck.
Right. You know, he is getting interviews. He been going to interviews. Damn, did you get a job yet? See, you should be asked why you got so many damn interviews. Why didn't you get hired yet?
They just got a job.
Yeah. But literally, we literally fall in love with potential, and we are cursed more than before. We sit here literally, damn, I made the same mistake again. Why did this keep happening to me? Well, look at your process. Every single time, it's the same one. You get to know them. Y'all go on a lunch date, Dunkin' Donuts. Y'all with each other for 2 weeks. Go to the movies. You sleep with them. Same damn process, but a different man or a different woman. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So let's read verse 17 again.
Therefore, do as my Father loves me.
Come on, slow down and speak up.
This book chapter, this John, John, chapter 10, verse 17. Therefore, do as my Father loves me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again.
Come on.
No man take it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
So what we talking about is a way to truly establish love is by keeping the first thing that was given to you. By keeping the first instructions given to you. Because if you kept the first instructions that your parents told you, save sex to marriage, your ass would be right here, right now. Most of our parents say save sex to marriage. We didn't hearken. And now we broken. About 15 plethora men and women in us. And talking about, you got to show me something different. You ain't did nothing different to show you. What are you doing different? Besides saying how Negroes ain't ish, women is B's and H's. What are we doing different? Nothing.
We literally looking for the same thing.
But we got the right to, you think we got the right to have a standard. What standard you upholding, Negro? For real. Let's go to Psalm 19. Let's go to Psalms 119, verse 165. Psalm 119, verse 165.
165.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring this out because this is very, very important. Why is it very, very important? Because marriage is not defiled. Marriage is supposed to be a place of a safe haven. It's supposed to be sacred. So we have Psalms 119 verses 165.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 165. Great peace have they which love thy law.
Say it again.
Great peace have they which love thy law. And nothing shall offend them.
So it says, great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. So my thing is this: if the law is supposed to be in your heart, the law is supposed to be in your mouth and your mind, and you meditating in the day and night, anything that you in covenant with shall also be in peace. You understand that? And why do you think the scriptures say if they don't come not with this doctrine to your house, that you're not even supposed to bid them Godspeed? Because you're not supposed to be in agreement with that. You understand? You're not supposed to be in agreement that's going to disturb your peace, which disturbing your peace is breaking your instruction that you was given or breaking the law. So this whole thing of, oh man, let me get a wife that's not in the truth, man, I can just bring her in and teach her. You going about it the wrong way. You actually working backwards. You working ass backwards. I mean, super ass backwards. Because you don't even know the end result because based upon potential. Based upon potential. Just saying for what it is. You don't really know. How do you know Yah chose her to even come in his life? How do you even know that? How do you know she's for you? Because you're moved by the seat of your emotions, which is potential. Potential. We have literally fell in love with emotional potential. And that's based upon because we don't have a second and third witness to validate this feeling that we got. You done forgot your mind. You done forgot your heart. Now, what's the other witness that this is right? There is none. But then we got Negroes talking about, oh man, should no brother help me choose my wife? Should no brother help me choose my husband? Shit, you shouldn't choose either. Shit, you just keep making the same mistake. We trying to help you out. Because obviously you ain't in your right mind to make the right choice. Yeah, exactly. Hey, shalom, family. Come on in. Yeah, it's a tape right here. I'll let y'all get settled. Hey, shalom, brother. All right. Let's go to John 15. So we ain't even getting to the real process I'm talking about. We only establishing the difference between love and lust and what real Hebraic love look like. John 15.
The book of Ehkadmalkutministries, chapter 15,
we'll start verse 9.
Verse 9. As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you.
Continue.
You continue ye in my love.
Continue what?
In my love.
Come on.
If ye keep my commandment, ye shall abide in my love. Even as I have kept my Father's commandment. And abide in his love.
So we see by way of keeping the instructions of our fathers, we not only abide in safe haven, but we abide in love. We abide in peace because we love the law of our Father. And we have kept the instructions of our mother. You see, all I'm dealing with right now, again, showing you love and lust, and even showing you how even the Messiah always dealt in peace. Because he was always abiding in the love of his Father. Always. Always. Keep going.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full.
So my question is, why so much trial and tribulation in these marriages? Because the love of Christ is not the base of that. Because most likely the Father did not ordain it to be. Why are you going through so much hell in something that's supposed to be peace, love, and joy? How your woman gonna be a pillar of peace when you giving her hell? How your husband gonna be a hedge when you tearing down his walls? Because y'all don't have the actual chief cornerstone to make the house anyway. Because he was never there in the first place. He was never there in the first place. Let's keep going.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 11.
Let's get it.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you.
Let's get it.
And that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends.
And can you say again, the person that you're courting, the person that you're married to, can you say with confidence that you feel they'll lay their life down for you? If you can't say that, it ain't love, brother. You're moved by your lust. You're moved by the seed of your emotions. You're moved by a feeling and an image, a potential. It is what it is. It's a hard truth. But we got to start breaking these walls down in this bondage and yoke of what this broken family is. That's why we losing in the black community, but we too damn emotional. We're not using Yah's logic on how to move further in the future. We not. We'll literally go to everything else, every type of creation, except come back to God. Foolishness. Except come back to how he told us to live. It's too grievous to keep his commandments. Your damn life is grievous because of you. Your damn life is grievous. What other choice do you, what other option do you really have? What harm will it be for you to actually turn away from life and actually follow God? Because we can all attest, for those who really attest, we have found more peace in this life than in the world. Who can attest to that? Give me a hallelujah. Hallelujah. You ain't dealing with no not because you're safe. The love of Christ, the joy and peace of Christ have kept you safe. If you're going through hell and you're supposed to be walking in truth, you're creating your own environmental hell. Mashiach there, you know the whole fire on your ass. He just sitting talking about, just jump, just come over here. And you sitting there pedaling back and forth. I don't know, but I'm still calling on your name. I don't know. I'm in the truth, but I ain't set free yet. I don't know. Why are you going? How are you going through the same relationship issues that you was in the world when the truth's supposed to set you free? We gotta make this make sense. Don't tell me you a Job. Don't tell me that you going through things like Joseph. Don't stop saying that shit. Because all that is a mask of your own infirmities. You don't want to accept the ugliness of yourself. But it's the thing. It's the ugliness that sets you free.
She got a Jezebel spirit.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. That's a fact. That is a fact right there. But we don't want to deal with that. We don't. Let's go to Romans 12 and 9. Romans 12 and 9.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good.
Now, who know what dissimulation is?
It's like without like manipulation or something like that.
It's actually the opposite of assimilation.
Breaking up things.
And it actually, in the deeper meaning, it actually means hypocrisy. Let love be without hypocrisy. Yeah. Having the manner of things looking good, social media. But outside social media, you're getting dragged through the house. You're getting beat. Your woman and your man's cheating. He ain't got no job, or whatever the case is. You're going through all this manner of BS in the dark, but you present yourself as light.
We always, in life, what we're taught to do is put on our best behavior, or our best face, or our best traits. So we're always selling the next person our representative. You see what I'm saying? It's just like an entertainer.
Right.
They go out and hire who? What do they get now? They go out and get their what they call a PR, public relations person. So they'll always appear a certain way in public. Well, that's what we do in our nature. You see what I'm saying? So dissimulation in this case would be actually putting on a representative to put you, make you look your best.
Right.
But he said, don't have this type of love with dissimulation.
Right.
Right. He said, don't put out this false narrative about yourself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? In other words, have the type of love that is pure. Right? Without pretense. Without pretending to be somebody.
Right.
Else.
That's it.
Because when you get in a relationship, guess what happens? That person you really are is going to come out.
That's a fact.
That's just a matter of time.
That's a fact.
Huh? Yeah. Who you really are is going to come out in the wash.
That's a fact.
Especially if you're doing it under Mashiach.
Facts.
Because he's true. He's light. He's going to expose you. Right? And he's going to expose not only you, but he's going to expose your emotions, your intentions, and your motives.
You know, like some people are actually together because they feel like they look like a good couple. Yeah, like it's like we look like a good couple, but we're not a good couple.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's go to. So now that we got a clear understanding of that, is everybody clear on what y'all's love actually look like?
Can I elaborate on that?
Please.
As far as what God loves look like, we got to really understand is that every relationship, and I think you said the most powerful thing you said all night is that you said, when you said in Genesis that Yah didn't call just the woman or just the man to be in his image, right? It was the man and woman coming together and being in his image and his likeness. They he, them, the both of them. And that means the whole purpose of a man and woman coming together is not your baby, not rooted in your emotions, it's not rooted in anything other than bringing Yah the glory,
right,
and the esteem,
right.
And that should be the catalyst that brings a man and woman together. It's not that a man has to make up for all the deficits in that woman, and that woman has to make up for the deficits in that man. That's lacking.
Okay.
And that's what we think it is, and that's why two whole people got to come together to create a whole, a unit of a whole.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
That's what it's about. See, when Adam and Eve came together, they were already in perfection. So when we become one, that's the whole purpose of coming in Mashiach first, is that we become a new creature. And we got to have that process of becoming the new creature. Becoming that new creature means that you're actually going back to originated state of who you are was a man and a woman, coming together and becoming your mission for your day is anything other than how are we going to get together and how am I going to simulate to you that Yah can be seen in our relationship.
Okay.
He glorified and our children can replicate us, which is really him.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Okay?
So replicate the one greater than you. And that's just truly what Hebraic love is, concrete. And so if y'all don't know what concrete means a thought dealing with things that can be seen, touched, smelled, taste, or heard. Versus abstract love that's what America teaches is abstract love, which means thoughts of expression that cannot be seen, touched, smelled, or tasted.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And so when you have this thing of having to question if I love him or not, the very thing you should determine is that is what is he doing for you? Not how he makes you feel. That's second nature. That's second hand. But what is he doing for me? What is she doing for me? Is she uplifting me? Is he uplifting me? Is he teaching me? Is she helping me rise up the kingdom that I want?
And if I can add to that,
please.
Go a little deeper. I think it should be what is he doing? What is she doing for us? Us. What is she doing for us? Because he's been saying for me has self in it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The intention is still me. Yeah, it's still individual in nature.
That's a fact.
It should be what is he doing for us? When a man is taking inventory, stop, because that is the courting process.
Yep.
Is that you're taking inventory, you're evaluating, you're making an assessment of that individual. right? And usually that's what our fathers did, because in that case, in Hebraic life, the father does know best.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
a fact.
And so with that being said, the father has a proper aptitude and as well the experience to see the deficits, not only in that end of, so we got to deal with individuals, but our fathers used to make analysis based on family and their behavior. You see what I'm saying? How did their family move?
Yep.
How successful were they in love? How successful were they in business?
You're merging families.
Because you're merging families.
And I tell sisters all the time, you want to know about a man? Look at his father.
Facts. Huh? We don't have, listen, we don't, because of the curses, we don't have that evaluation system and process, except with elders, and unfortunately there are broken homes.
Yeah.
But what we do have is that we have the scripture to where we can determine attitude and dispositions of people, right? And we can determine when and where we see the deficits. And that doesn't mean just because somebody may have a situation or have some brokenness in them, that don't mean that they're not suitable, but it may not be. I guarantee sometimes most bad relationships is timing.
Yep.
It's timing. It's not even about whether it's right or wrong. It's when it's right and wrong. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you gotta let patience have its perfect work. Okay?
Okay.
Because we all messed up. We ain't who to be. Well, we had issues then, but families wasn't the curses. And you know, we always say the curses is all about messed up families. When it's all said and done, it's just a dysfunction of the family.
Okay. And that's the purpose of this lesson, is for both sides, men and women, to humble down. I get off your high horse. We all had played the harlot. We all was whores and hoes. We was. Now that don't necessarily mean you don't have standards, but the only way you truly get your standards is you fulfilling the standards yourself first. For real. You want to stand on what type of woman you better be up to par. You better be clean. You better be repentant. You better have turned from all your trauma and illnesses. You better be in that place before you talk about what type of woman you need or what type of man you need. Because until then, if you ain't dealing with that, you just need to put your head down and say, Father, show me the way. Your only thing you should be focused on the Father right now. Heart, mind, and soul.
And it says, a man who finds a wife. A woman should be waiting for the bridegroom. When the man comes, the woman's in waiting. She's in waiting.
You about to get into it. You about to get into it, man. We gonna get into it, right? We gonna get into it, but no, now I want to show y'all some unapproved marriages. Unapproved. We're gonna go to Genesis chapter 28, verse 6. Genesis chapter 28, verse 6.
The book of Genesis 28, verse 6.
Come on.
When Esau saw Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him.
Hold on. Let's see. Who sent him away?
His father.
Did he go on his own? No, he didn't. So his blessing was to be sent to his wife. Go get his wife.
Okay.
Come on.
He gave him a charge, saying, "Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan."
And believe it or not, brother, this is our charge, period. To this day. We should not take any other nations. Just keep going. And where did he get that charge from?
His father.
He got that from his father. So you see, it's the trickle down the line of the righteous brothers still following the instruction of his father, who got it from his father, who got it from his father. Blessings versus curses. We're going to see what Esau did. Come on.
And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Padan Aram.
Come on.
And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father.
Oh, we come on.
Then when Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had at Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebuchadnezzar, to be his wife.
Now, Esau literally went on his own route to go find his wife without his father's blessings, right? Now you see he's being presumptuous. Now you see why it went against him to mess on his blessings, because he wasn't even in line with his father in the first place. Esau was driven by materialistic things, which was meat or which animals. That's what he was. He was more so on bringing the thing tangible rather than applying the intangible, which was the instructions of his father. Yeah, his father liked bison and all that, but the biggest joy of his father was following his instructions. You see? But he hardened his heart so much he went against that.
And if I may add, he didn't ask his father what he wanted.
Yeah,
he was presumptuous and said, "I'm gonna go get an Ishmaelite woman, which is a part of our bloodline." But that doesn't mean just because you go get what you think your father wants, that's what your father wants.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense? He just went and he said, "Oh, this is what my father liked." But is that what your father wanted?
Okay.
We do that with Yah every day. Assuming what he wants. He said, "But a good man steps of what? Ordered by Yah."
Okay.
If any man lack wisdom, let him what?
Wow.
He'll get deliberately and upgrade him not. Okay.
Let's go to Judges 14. Speed this up a little bit. Judges 14. So if we getting better understanding on truly how we supposed to be, what love look like within our community. Everybody understanding that? Okay. I better not see any of y'all in no messed up relationship after this. Judges chapter 14, verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 1.
Let's get it.
And Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines.
Come on.
And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, "I have seen a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines."
Now start right there. So now we see Samson. He took the proper protocol, right? Let me go check in with my parents, right? Let me go check in. Come on.
Now, therefore, get her for me to wife.
Come on.
Then his father and his mother said unto him, "Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines?"
That's how I think. Is there not a Hebrew woman that you can go to amongst us? That you got to get a woman out the strip club? That you got to get her in the club, period? That you got to get her on the street? Is there not any woman in this so-called walk that you can't find?
They're boring, you know.
They're so boring. I need some excitement. She doesn't thrill me enough.
I want a woman in the street, but what they say,
freaking in the bed. Be yelling all types of women, put a dress on. But then just be on that. Damn, she got the swimming suit on. That's my favorite type of print. That's the brother be on, man. It's just, hey, it's a fact.
It's the print.
It's the print. It's a fact. It's a fact, bro. We are being too hypocritical in this walk, and then wondering why we having issues with sisters, or sisters have issues with brothers, because we're not being all the way authentic about what we really going through. We're not being authentic in the beginning. Yeah, I got a fornication problem.
And for the fact that his father says there's never a woman,
yeah,
so he must keep bringing these unclean heathen women to his parents.
Now, this is the crazy part. When you read it, let's see what Samson said. Let's see how crazy Samson is, bro.
Okay,
so I want you to read that again. I want you to read that whole thing again.
Then his father and his mother said unto him, "Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren,
come on,
or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines?"
Come on.
And Samson said unto his father, "Get her for me."
Now stop right there real quick. He said uncircumcised Philistines. Now, we obviously know he ain't talking about she got a rod. What was he talking about?
Her raising.
Her raising it. How she was raised. How she was brought up. Her heart, her mind. Because he knew, looking back in the history of our fathers, that every time we turn to these foreign women, and I'm not just talking about heathen by blood women, I'm talking about even the Gentile woman who was an Israelite with an uncircumcised mind. With an uncircumcised mind. Why are you getting with somebody who's not in that mindset with you? Because you yourself have not conformed your mind to Yah's instructions. You yourself want to feel the desires of the flesh. You yourself still looking at that woman from that porno you used to watch. I'm keeping it all the way funky today. Because that's a fact. Brothers is going in relationships looking for pornography marriages.
Long dresses.
With long dresses. Long dresses. Baby, we ain't walking around that two-piece I like. Well, baby, you just told me the other week it was unlawful to be naked. Right. Just show a little breast out there. Let them see what I'm working with. But baby, you say I had to be modest. Women supposed to dress like that, but this is how I really like it. This is what I prefer. No, bro, that ain't what your father said. Your father said she's supposed to be modest in mind and in heart. And why she look. Just saying. Now let's see what this Negro Samson said, man.
And Samson said unto his father.
So he told his father, what'd he say?
Get her for me.
Oh, snap. Come on.
For she pleases me well.
That boy was moving on all seats of emotions. She pleases me well. And you know how Samson got there. It wasn't like she was literally doing something. She was sexing the man up. That was his pleasure, sex. He wants to marry her because the sex is good. He probably was attracted to her. I'm pretty sure the Philistines, they usually, their cultural dress code after their guys. And you know, half their guys dress naked or don't wear anything at all.
That's like you had like brothers that's in the Asian women, brothers that's in the white women and stuff like that. That's all they deal with.
That's facts.
That's just like Samson. Like, you know, it's like, well, can't you get an Israelite woman?
That's a fact. Verse 4.
Verse 4, but his father and his mother knew not that this was of the Adonai, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel.
And that's what we see today. We are seduced and persuaded by those who are over us today, even in Israel. That's why you still, I'm gonna say what it is. That's why you flood in Israel got these Caucasians posing Israel because they are still attracted to Caucasians, Asians, and these Spaniards.
That's a fact.
It is what it is. We are moved by our lust like Samson. That's why you got an influx. Well, I'm talking about look straight like Jim Carrey. Talking about he Ephraim. Talking about he Ephraim or she Ephraim. Then go ahead and go marry the woman or man. We got brothers literally marrying off our women to Gentile men. Literally. Because we are still moved by the lust of our flesh, man. Still to this day. So let's go to let's get to who we not supposed to marry. So let's go to Genesis 24. Genesis 24. Genesis 24:1.
Bereshit 24, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh.
Come on.
And I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven, and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell.
But thou shalt what?
But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac.
So what type of woman we supposed to marry?
Kindred.
Kindred. Does that mean because we got melanin that's our kindred? No. The Messiah said the perfect thing. My mother and my father and my sister are those who what? Do the will of my Father. Do the will. We got to just be honest with ourselves. We still want what we want because that's what we liked in the world. And you wondering why we dealing with this issue. And why are we talking about that? Because we got to start really examining with spiritual eyes and not eyes of the flesh. Children, we got to start examining these things again. And because, like he said, we have been stripped from that culture where we did have that provision, it's a little bit difficult. But now I believe that a lot of us are without excuses. A lot of us have elders. A lot of us at least have a brother or two around us. Or a lot of us still, who father's still alive? Raise your hand. Men and women. Yeah. Yeah. We should have no excuse why we shouldn't do this the proper way. No excuse. And if you ain't got it in order yet, all praise the Most High for mercy and grace, get it in order. Get it in order. There's nothing wrong with that. We all messed up, including myself. So I'm not no man that's serious and say I'm perfect. But I messed up myself. But I'm getting it right and I got it right. Yes, sir. All right. So we see our forefather Abraham said that we supposed to get wives that are of our kindred and our country. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7. Deuteronomy 7. We're going to start at verse 1.
The book of Devarim, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations, greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Right, so how do we apply this today? To have not the Lord deliver us before them by bringing us to this knowledge? Right? Has he not, given us the ways to smite the ideology of his enemy?
Hallelujah.
Right? And how are we not supposed to utterly destroy and tear down the images that have been given us in captivity? Therefore, you should not make no covenant with anybody who's still in covenant with the very thing you've tore down.
In your own mind.
In your own mind. So nor show mercy unto them.
So what you said, there really should be no looking for, as they said, as you just said earlier, potential.
Potential.
We shouldn't be looking at potential.
No. We should stop playing super saver, you know what. And that's for men and women. Women, you stop saving these Negroes too. Stop being superwoman for these Negroes. Because Yah has already promised you a better thing than that. You cannot turn the hearts of men back to Yah. It's only Yah who can do that. It's only Yah. And we haven't figured that out because we literally trying to play God too much. We'll literally force somebody to wear fringes, force them to wear zits, force them to wear hair wrap, force them to do all these long dress, all that stuff. But haven't found the formula to change their heart.
Most you can do is pray.
Most you can do is pray and you give them advice. That don't mean you gotta welcome them in. Come on, baby, let's talk about this over a pizza in the movie.
I want to share some scripture with you.
Yeah. Let me share this word with you at 1 a.m. That's the Hebrew line right there. Wait. Let me share the scripture with you.
They were stood, it's about 12 noon.
Yeah.
No,
the Spirit's moving it. He told me you need to come over right now. We got to go through Deuteronomy. We got to go through Sirach 26. I need to show you what a good woman look like. That's what nigga go through. Let me show you the way. Hold on, Negro. I thought the Messiah was the way, the truth, and the life. How did you put yourself in his place? Negroes literally take love him as Hamashiach to the head. Hey, what was to love me? Put your head there. Hey, you should be go sitting there putting your head down praying with it, brother.
Watch out for the babies. For the babies.
All right, man. So look, let's go to 1 Kings for the Negroes who try to find a way for the Edos. 1 Kings 11.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11. Where we going?
Verse 1. Let's go to the very man a lot of brothers like to compare themselves to.
The book of the book of 2 Kings.
1 Kings.
1 Kings.
You there? No, you there. 1 Kings 11.
Hallelujah. But King is, what you say?
Oh, wait.
Whatever. I'm about to cut you. Sitting there, prophet. Put my hand out to him. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh.
Come on.
Women of the Moabites.
Come on.
The Ammonites. Edomites. Zidonians.
Edomites.
And Hittites.
Come on. Keep going.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them.
Come on.
Neither shall you come in unto you.
So you brother, you shall not go into them, and you women, you should not definitely let that beast come into you. Come on. Come on.
Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you.
Come on.
For surely they will turn away your heart.
What they should do?
Turn away your heart.
Come on.
After other deities.
Come on.
Solomon clave on to these in love.
And that's exactly what he did, because he was moving by emotions. He started out good. That's why he had balance in the house. But once they started doing little tricks and dances, that man was gone. He was gone.
And that literally meant each woman brought in a doctrine.
Exactly.
Bringing their own belief system. And how do we know? We keep going.
No, let's go to Tobit. Let's go to Tobit 4. I'm going to be done with that topic about strange women. So strange woman.
I got to read. I
got one right here. Strange woman is not just heathen bloodline women or heathen bloodline men. It's also dealing with there you go. I put them women down.
In these days.
In these days. We're gonna start at verse 12. Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Let's get it.
12 and 12?
Chapter 4, verse 12.
Hallelujah. This thing is smaller. Huh? Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Okay, come on.
And take now a strange woman. Take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe.
See, it was so deep that we even stuck within our own tribes. Like if you from the tribe of Judah, you had to get with somebody from Judah. You from Benjamin, you had to get with somebody from Benjamin. Come on.
For we are the children of the prophets. Noah, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov.
Now, what was he saying? He was saying to him, we are the children of the set apart ones. We are the children of the holy fathers. Therefore, we must be holy because our fathers was holy.
Dang.
Come on.
Remember, my son, that are fathers from the beginning, even that they all marry wives of their own kindred.
Well, what?
And were blessed
in their
children.
And were blessed in their children. I'm telling you, you look deep enough, you see issues with your children, it's because you did something within your marriage. You did something within your marriage, whether that be divorce, whether that be how the household is ran, whether that be disorder. Everything your children displays and showing is a reflection of the marriage within that house, or the lack of the marriage, or the broken marriage. Come on.
Okay. That our fathers from the beginning, even they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Ooh-wee. Come on.
Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Come on.
And despise not in thy heart thy brethren.
Come on.
The sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction.
For in what?
In pride is destruction.
And pride can be simply you just still going after what you want, knowing it's not good for you. That's pride. And pride, it is. Because pride leads to fornication. Pride leads to being yoked with a woman or a man who's not on the same level that you should be on. Or he or she is nothing but a reflection of you. Your internal man.
Nice.
Come on.
And much trouble. And in lewdness. And lewdness is decay. And great want. For lewdness is the mother of family.
Ooh-wee. 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 And there's other scriptures I want to go to. Y'all can mark down Numbers 36. I ain't gonna go into that.
Touch that out.
You want me to go into that? Anybody know what lewdness means?
No.
Nobody know what lewdness? Let's just pull up the definition.
Isn't it like indecent, bad, and cruel? Isn't that like
I'm openly sexual.
Woo-hoo! I'm about to read it to y'all. So lewdness means involving or being sexual conduct that is considered indecent or offensive.
So what is he literally saying? He's comparing to take on a strange woman as being lewd.
It's representing your sexual desires.
It's representing your you out there.
You out there.
Yeah, wow.
That's why your woman is a reflection of you.
Oh.
I just hurt somebody. Oh gosh. I hurt somebody.
And I guarantee I know about it by experience. You could be doing very well financially. You get with a lewd, you do the wrong thing with wrong. Your money start getting hit instantly.
Facts.
You start like, for some reason, I start losing everything. Phone, business. The list goes on. You get with the wrong woman.
Okay.
One not ordained by y'all, your money gonna get tapped. And that's the first thing that's gonna happen, because then what happens is then you lose your ability to produce and provide for that woman.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna charge you for being inadequate as a man.
Yep. Facts. Hey, the scriptures don't lie. You can't run from the truth. I'm telling y'all now.
There's a lot of Negroes watching this live.
Yeah.
Damn, that's the problem.
So
right here.
And
their seed. Well, let's go back. He said, lewdness is decay and great want, but lewdness is the mother of famine.
Famine. Y'all know what famine is, right? We ain't got to explain that, do we? Going without, disaster, scarceness, trial, tribulation. So if you're going through trial, tribulation, distress, you're going through famine, I guarantee it's dealing with because you made the wrong decision. It's because you made the wrong decision. So let's get it. Now that we done with that, Now let's get to the proper way we do this marriage. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse Nah, I just told y'all to write that down. Ecclesiasticus chapter 7. We're gonna go to verse 23. Verse 23. Yeah, I'm going.
Somebody else read that for me. My eyes just cracked.
I'll read it myself. Okay. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23. Has thou children? That's why I say, if you got children, you better listen up. Has thou children? Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth. What that means is humble them. Keep them humble. Has thou daughters? Have care of their body and show not thyself cheerfull toward them. All you perverted Negroes. Verse 24. Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 24. Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 24. It says, has thou, I'm reading for 23 again. Has thou children? Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth. Have thou daughters? Have care of their body and show not thyself cheerfull towards them. Verse 25.
I got a text. Who knows? You need help with that?
I got it just of it, but I need.
Yeah. Can you share?
Hey, Shema, y'all, can we get control of the children, y'all?
I remember when I had first met you, I was like, wait, you can't be happy towards your daughter.
I ain't talking about
Cheerfulness is more like you shouldn't be broadcasting your daughter out.
Right. Right. Right.
You shouldn't be parading them.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be parading them.
Hey, y'all, can we please get the children? If it's too loud, just take them in the office. Can y'all take them out? Can you take them out, please? King, don't start playing with him. All right. Did y'all hear what El said? It's pretty explained, and then just talking about pretty much stop. Don't show your daughters off.
Don't be parading them in front of people.
Yeah.
Like you see now on social media, you got babies, little girls sitting around there dancing, provocative, and enticing in front of these men. These women think it's cute,
Right?
You shouldn't be having your children out there. You shouldn't have, especially your daughters, because what you're doing is you're making merchandise.
Right.
People are literally looking and lusting after your daughters, and you're actually, what you're doing is you're putting the spirit in your daughters where they'll see that as validation.
Right.
When they're getting accolades and clapping, and people give them attention. They're gaining the wrong type of attention, and they'll think showing off their bodies is the only way they'll get acceptance, the only way they'll get light, the only way they'll get validation. Right. And so they'll start looking for validation in that kind of way. So this is really about protecting your daughters.
Okay. Now here's the deep part. Verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. I'll read it again. That don't literally mean you literally marry your daughter. It means you give her hand in marriage. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weightier matter, but give her to a man of understanding. So sisters, and this is for those alive and everything, who is the one giving you a marriage? Let's just use the scenario. I ain't got a father, or my father not in this walk. Okay, you need to get around an elder who can see what you can't see. It's a fact. You need to get with an elder, and I ain't just talking about any elder. I'm talking about an elder who actually got a successful marriage and can see what you can't see. See what you can't see, because that is how you, at least, even if you can't see all the way, you got other eyes to say, okay, if you see that, I'm good. That's two witnesses. That's two witnesses. But ultimately, it should be your father giving you off. Even if he's not in this walk. I believe he should be very, very active in your choice. Very active. Very, very active. And then, yes, have another who is the walk who can see those things. Y'all see what I'm saying?
The thing is, like, today's culture is trying to teach people how to pick their own things.
Yeah.
That's where all the mistakes are happening.
Okay.
We're the ones doing the choosing. And, you know, sometimes the parents or the elders can see, you know, can see the road ahead. Because, again, we talk about love and lust. We're seeing people through that eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may look and appear like a good couple, but, you know.
Okay.
And what he says about giving your daughter is a weighty matter. It's a weightier thing. Because when a man gives his daughter to another woman, that's an exchange rate. That's an exchange in the eyes of, from that man home, a woman going from under his covering into another man's covering. That's literally him giving up a portion of himself. Because he's invested he invested putting Torah in her. He invested making sure she has proper decorum. Right. She has proper perspective about life. She has a mother that raised her in Torah and so all that you've done with your daughter, you give her to another man, you give her to a man with understanding. In other words, he knows her worth. He knows the weight that she carries because of the man that she comes from. Right? Because your son is he's the one that gives you that's your inheritance, right? But your daughter is the one that has your reputation. Does that make sense? And so you got to give your daughter up. When you give your daughter away, it's a weighty matter. It's a costly matter. Right.
Okay. Let's go to I'm gonna skip a few because I want to get to the whole fullness of this thing. So let's go to Tobit chapter 7. We're gonna start at 7. I'm gonna do 3 chapters, but we're gonna start at 7. Chapter 7, verse 1. Any other brother got their pocket? I'll read them. I got it. You good? You good? So Tobit chapter 7, verse 1. And when they were come to Echadmalkutministries, they came to the house of Raguel, and Sarah met him. And after that, they had saluted one another. She brought them into the house. They said, Raguel to Edna, his wife, how long is this young man to Tobit, my cousin? And Raguel asked them, from whence are you, brethren? To whom they said, we are the sons of Naphtali, which are captives in Nineveh. And when he said to them, do you know Tobit, our kinsman? And they said, we know him. Then said he, is he in good health? And they said, he is both alive and in good health. So what I want to touch, what's being said right now is Raguel is the father of Sarai. And what he's doing is he's actually trying to find a suitable husband for his daughter. You understand? Matter of fact, I think the best thing I can do is read from the chapter, a little bit from the end chapter before, to give y'all the stage of what's going on. So let's start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 10. This Tobit chapter 6, verse 10. Then the angel said to the young man, brother, today we shall lie to Raguel, who is thy cousin. He also have one only daughter named Sarai. I will speak for her, that she may be given thee for a wife. So who is going to speak for Tobit? This is an angel talking. An angel is going to speak for Tobit. You understand? For verse 11, for to thee doeth the daughter of her appertain. She thou only art of her kindred. And the maid is fair and wise. Now therefore hear me. And now what we gonna go on this for brothers, I do want you to humble yourself. This is where we gotta humble ourselves. This is why I say we gotta realize that we also played the whores, or we also have been with many people. Because you're gonna see in this situation, this sister right here been with a completion of Negroes. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't her fault. I'm gonna show you why. You gonna see.
It was lawful.
Yeah, it was. And the maid is fair and wise. Now therefore hear me, and I will speak to her father. And when we return from rages, we will celebrate the marriage. For I know that Raguel cannot marry her to another according to the law of what? Moses. You see that? He knows he's following the instructions of his fathers. His fathers. His fathers. Are we as a people following the instructions of our fathers even in marriage? Even in marriage. So it says, but he shall be guilty of death, because the right of inheritance doeth rather appertain to thee than to any other. Then the young man answered the angel. Watch it. He said, I have heard, brother Azarias, that this maid have been given to 7 men who all died. Can somebody again, please? Who all died in the marriage chamber. I'm saying it again. Then the young man answered the angel, I've heard, brother Azarias, that this maid have been given to 7 men who all died in the marriage chamber. And now I am the only son of my father, and I am afraid lest if I go in unto her, I die as the other before. For a wicked spirit loveth her. For a wicked spirit loveth her, which hurteth nobody but those which come unto her. So the spirit that she was in covenant with probably didn't even realize it. Didn't really harm her. She didn't see it. Oh, you know, it's not me. It's just I just have bad luck. It's not me. It's not me. But some reason every nigga continue to fall to the same spiritual death. So for her, somebody's like, bruh, am I gonna die too? Do I gotta go through the same thing too? He said, I'm the only son my father got. Ain't no other like me. So he's like, wherefore I also fear lest I die and bring my father's and mother's life because of me to the grave with sorrow. For they have no other son to bury them. Then the angel said, and this is why I said you gotta be in tune with the spirit. Because the spirit will tell you and bear witness if this person is for you or not your emotions. Watch what the angel said. Then the angel said unto him, doest thou not remember the precepts which thy father gave thee? That thou shouldest marry a wife of thy own kindred? Wherefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given thee to wife, and make thou no reckoning of the evil spirit. For this same night shall she be given thee in marriage. And when thou shalt come into the marriage chamber, watch what he say. Thou shalt take the ashes of perfume and shalt lay upon them some of the heart and liver of the fish, and shall make a smoke with it. And the devil shall smell it and flee away, and never come again anymore. But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you and pray to God. And pray to God, which is merciful, who will have pity on you and save you. Fear not, she is appointed. She is appointed unto thee from the beginning. Whoa. 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 So you saying a woman could be in situations and still from the beginning be purpose for you? Absolutely. And that's why brothers got to be humble coming in this thing. For real. For real. Because you never know. Even she could have went through those experiences that was going to actually help you in the long run.
That's like the scripture said. He finds a wife,
finds a good thing.
Not that you out here like looking based on your emotions, but I'll find it.
And that's the most important thing. He had a witness, not only by angels, but he took him back to the law. He took him back to his instructions of his father. Look to the precepts. How many of us looking to the precepts about our courting stage in marriages? Oh, you teaching the Bible too much. Too much precepts. Why are we talking about it? Like, relax. Just tell me how you feel. I want to know you. I want to know. how you feel. Let me see. I want to know your heart. Don't tell me what the book says. Tell me what you feel.
We just reading.
Yeah, we just reading. So then it says, and when thou shalt come into the marriage chamber, I read that for you. Oh yeah, it said, and thou shalt persevere her, preserve her. My bad, preserve her, and she shall go with thee. Moreover, suppose that she shall bear thee children. And now when Tobias had heard these things, he loved her, and his heart was affectionately joined to her. But what was bearing witness was it with his feelings? The word, the spirit. How many of us can testify to that?
It was ordained.
It was ordained.
Well, y'all bring it together.
Now let's see what happens on our behalf. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Chapter 7, verse 7. He says, and blessed him and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man. When he had heard that Toby was blind, he was sorrowful and wept. And likewise, so now we see Toby, even on his side, he's a little crippled. He got a little deficiency going on. So we can't judge a book by its cover.
That's a fact.
She slept with plethora of Negroes, and this Negro can't see. All he got is an extra sentence. You know what I'm saying? And most importantly, his spirit. So we see that literally you can't judge a book by its cover, but you got to be in line with what's being presented. You got to be in line with y'all to even see past somebody's infirmities. For real, you do. You got to be in line. You got to be in tune when y'all to see past that, because we're not judging by flesh. We're looking at the spirit. And it's the spirit that builds the kingdom, not flesh.
That's why you cannot have immaturity inside of you, because that will force you to see according to the flesh. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, I mean, what if the woman only got one leg, or the man got one arm, or the man got one ear, or the man got one eye, or whatever it is. But y'all can complete each other. See what I'm saying? Well, but if you come in with that mind of the world that don't look on the inward man,
right?
You see what I'm saying? Right. You judge from the inward position, you could literally find yourself out of the will of the Most High.
And this the crazy thing. That person that you may not like, they can be the total opposite for you, but be the best thing that ever happened to you. Maybe in that part of your life, they actually complete you in that fashion. I ain't talking about how they say it in the world. I'm talking about in that fashion of actually bringing that extra piece of the puzzle that you needed to get further.
And that's why you cannot have an agenda
Facts.
coming in a relationship. You cannot have your own agenda coming in a relationship. Because I guarantee she probably had a different idea of what a good marriage, what her man would look like.
Right. That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Now watch this. It says, verse 8, and likewise Edna his wife and Sarah his daughter wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully. And after that, they had killed a ram of the flock. I know you're going to like this. They set store of meat on the table. Then Tobias to Raphael, brother Azarias, spoke of those things of which thou didst talk in the way, and let this business be dispatched. So he communicated the matter with Raguel. And Raguel said to Tobias, eat and drink and make merry. For it is meet that thou shouldest marry thy daughter. Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men. So it's important, brothers and sisters, be honest. Be honest. That was one thing I had a hard time. I didn't want to hear nothing like that. For real, I didn't want to hear that. But this is the thing. To hear that does set you free from any assumptions. Right. It's the person being open. That's really the key to relationship, is being open and honest and being communicative. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I used to have an alcohol problem. Yes, I used to do this. Yes, I used to do that. So then that person can judge the matter and righteously say, okay, at least I do know you was up front with me. I can make a decision. If you do something along the line, at least I can say, oh, you did tell me. Right. You did tell me that. Right. See? So he said, I got to tell you the truth. I've given my daughter in marriage to 7 men who died that night they came in time. He just died in the choir bar. Nevertheless, for the present be married. For the present be married. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here. Now peep this. Because remember, food is very important because food is also a way of where we are feasting when we are in agreement with something. So he said, verse, what was it? Oh, I will eat nothing till we agree. I will eat nothing till we agree and swear one to another. So what is he saying? We need to know the terms and conditions of this contract before we make a covenant. How many of us sat down, went over the details, went over our traumas, went over our pain, went over things we struggle with, went over things we need help with, went over what we actually expect out of this marriage, and then made the agreement?
Well.
A lot of us made the agreement verbally after we got in there.
Most relationships are winging.
Facts.
Y'all get together,
Winging it.
emotions, you don't talk about nothing, and you just go through life discovering stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now watch this. He said, Raguel said, then take her from henceforth according to the manner, for thou art her cousin, and she is thine. And the merciful God give you good success in all things. So he's being confirmed by another witness, which is her father. Her father is saying, you go with her, you are going to have good success. So he's getting the blessings of her father. Y'all see? Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses and lead her away to thy father. So now he got to take her to his father. And he blessed him and called Edna his wife and took paper. So for those who want to argue about certain agreements, we see that was part of our culture. And he called Edna his wife and took paper, because I know that's argument. Well, you got to give her a paper of divorce. What's the paper of covenant? Or what's the signature of covenant? And called Edna his wife and took paper and did write an instrument of covenants and sealed it. Then they began to eat. And after Raguel called his wife Edna and said to her, sister, prepare another chamber and bring her in thither. Because why? It was the fathers who prepared the houses for who? Their children. Their children. Which when she had done as he had bidden her, she brought her thither, and she wept, and she received the tears of her daughter, and said unto her, be of good comfort, my daughter. The Lord of heaven and earth give thee joy for this thy sorrow. Be of good comfort, my daughter. You see that? So we see clearly that it is the father's duty to give the daughter away. It was something else I wanted to show. Oh, let's go to, because this is what Negroes like to use too. Let's go to Exodus 22. I'm about to cut everything Negroes like to use. Exodus 22. I'm going to show y'all where the doctrine was created at. Exodus 22 and 16. Exodus 22 and 16. I want y'all to zoom up and screenshot that. This is the doctrine of sexless marriage right here.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 15.
16.
Okay. If a man entice a maid,
Y'all listen up.
and if a man entice a maid, that is not betrothed.
So entice means to pursue. If a man pursues a maid or a young woman or a virgin or a woman, period, that is not a purpose or promise to another man. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
And lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So he shall surely make sure that that's his wife if he goes in that way, right? So people have made a doctrine and said, well, see, this is why sex is marriage. So now, we got to read the next verse to verify this.
Hold up. He said he got to endow her.
Mm-hmm.
First thing a man got to do, if you're going to take her on, you got to endow her. That means down her. You got to give that dowry up to that husband, to that father. You got to do it as if you took something that wasn't yours. It wasn't agreed upon, but that still doesn't mean that just because you took it is yours.
Facts.
Because there was no exchange given for that woman.
Facts.
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 So that endowment had to happen. That endowment had to happen. Because you had to make it right with that father, because that father did not lawfully give that woman to you.
And what you did was literally take the value, some value out of his house.
Took some value out of it.
You took some value out of his house.
You went out of protocol. You went straight to her, not to her father.
Right.
You enticed her.
Jake had to do that for 14 years.
Huh?
Jake had to do that for 14 years.
Yeah, we went over that. Yeah. Facts.
So now, let's read the next verse, because we keep forgetting. Remember, we read Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's what? Anything in his house. Anything. So if you sitting here and you know she got a father, especially if you know that father is in his walk and you ain't talked to that man yet, but you went, even if she's enticed to go sleep with you, and you sleep with her without dealing with him, Negro, you just covered it. You just covered it. It is what it is. You can't get around that this has always been our law, statutes, and commandments on how to even deal with one another. That's that man's possession. Everything under his roof is his. If you are taking things that are not yours but his without his consent, you are coveting. Or we can even go deeper. You stealing. You stealing. Now watch what the next verse says. This is what brothers don't bring. I want to bring out the next verse. Come on.
If her father utterly refused to give her unto him.
If he what? Utterly refused. Come on. So that means he got all right to say no. She ain't got to go. And guess what? She ain't got to go. She don't have to go. She don't. So that cuts that whole doctrine of sex is marriage.
And that goes all the way to
Numbers 30.
That a woman, a man, a father can overturn a vow even of her daughter.
Exactly.
A father can overturn a vow that she makes. And if her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money. He shall pay money according to the dowry of a virgin.
Guess what? He ain't getting a woman and he just lost money.
I still don't need that money.
Yeah. Because guess what? He literally took the value out of his house. So now she can't even get put up and stock as a virgin
and
no
what
more.
do they call that in the court system?
Compensation.
What kind of compensation?
Damn good. Damn good.
Damn good, but there's an actual legal term. Restitution.
Hey,
this is put in place because you have to be held accountable for your actions.
Right.
You took something that wasn't yours. That's my daughter. You didn't come and ask for her. So using the whole sexist marriage thing, you can't even use this in this context.
Right, it's dead.
Because everything has to be in place.
Facts.
You know what?
Facts.
This basically kept society in the pretty good. Kept a lot of pastor children from coming about.
Yeah.
It kept like basically single moms, baby daddies. It put a stop to all of it.
Facts. And the whole point of giving the dowry as a virgin is that that man is also, every law is there bit on. So now he has to pay full damages for what he did.
Facts.
By violating that woman. You know what I'm saying? By taking her virtue, you actually devalued her.
Facts.
You took the value away from that woman. I used to be in my younger days. A woman literally knew, she knew the value of her virtue, of her virginity. You see what I'm saying? Now, Negroes had to have a mad mouthpiece about 30 years ago to get a sister to just do what it took.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took some work.
Oh, you're back. Oh, okay.
Right, it took some work. But one thing a woman wanted to hear even in those days before she said anything, do you love me?
Mm-hmm.
She needed to know because she needed that consolation that you value me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand the whole point of a man or woman giving her body is in her subconscious. She realizes that's all she could really offer a man.
Right.
That is her value. And if the wrong man does not understand the value of that, because her body is the actual, it's the tool of replicating them.
Right. Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Write down Genesis 29. We'll be here for another hour and a half. I just broke that down wrong. But Genesis 29 is also a beautiful blueprint on the steps Jacob took. The steps that Jacob took on pursuing his wife. And the service, even if he didn't have the actual money, but the service he had to do, the action he had to do to even be in agreement with that father to marry Rachel. Although he had to end up marrying Leah because that was the law. The inheritance goes to the daughter or the firstborn first, right? He had to marry her off. But he did it in decency and order. You see what I'm saying? Even when we want to go to Jacob's daughter, right? And then the man went into her without even asking her first. I mean, asking his father first. And he wasn't in total agreement. It was to the point that his sons made them get circumcised just so they can come slaughter. We wasn't playing that game. You totally defiled. You going into heathens. Or still going into, you totally defiled. You totally tainted. And that's the same thing with your mind. He always say the womb is not just here, it's here too. It's in your mind. So you can be totally defiled up here. You really want to go into that? Because once you go in, you in covenant. You're there. You there. Even if you ain't with her, you still there. You made covenant with whatever thing she had on her. He had on him. Facts. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. I want to show evidence of marriage now. So remember, we already went. What's one witness you must have for that marriage to be right? What's one witness? The father consent. What was another one we saw?
It was
Ketubah, a contract. Now we're about to go to the blood. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her,
right, and
give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, right, and say, I took this woman.
Oh, she a Jezebel. She ain't following my instructions. She wicked, right? She ain't doing what I asked her to do. Come on.
And when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
So he lied. He lying on her now.
Yeah, he basically said she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah. He lied on her now. Because I guess that was not who he really wanted. She wasn't up to his liking. Moved by emotions. Come on.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity.
Hold on. So who got the token of her virginity? Because that must be an exchange. I need to see proof that you went into my daughter. So another evidence of that was the white sheet with blood on it to represent, yeah, this man literally got my daughter because my consent. Because the only way you even proved that the father even gave consent, besides the dowry, was the second witness was the blood on the sheet. Come on. Verse 15.
Verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity.
Come on.
Unto the elders of the city.
Unto who?
The elders.
Oh, so now other parties got to come into this thing, right? Come on.
Of the city in the gate.
Come on.
The damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto
I did what?
I gave my daughter unto
Come on.
To wife, and he had hated her.
What do you say?
And lo, they have given occasion of speech against her, saying, I have found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity.
So what's his proof of the marriage? The blood, the contract. Why am I saying this? Because sisters specifically, and brothers too, but sisters specifically, y'all are hopping in these marriages with no evidence or accountability for that man to have towards you, which you're giving him room to leave you dry and high. We gotta get away from that. Stop listening to these, and this is what they are, niggas, telling you that sex is marriage. It's not, it's fornication. And they just trying to get their rocks off till they done with you.
And I think, though, of course, we can't reverse engineer virginity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible. But the principle of this,
yes, sir.
The principle of this is that there should be a witness to validate between you and that woman.
Yeah.
And well, that man and that woman coming together, that there is kinsmen, there is a father, there is a man that has witnessed or even watched the courting stage. Right? And witness, at least if you cannot necessarily give a token of virtue, what you can do is give a certain level of accountability, of maybe reporting to that brother or to that father or to that man, saying we agreed.
Right.
See what I'm saying? We agreed to maintain a certain level of integrity, until this and this happens.
Right.
But once that does happen, you have to be able to say that I came in this relationship with some type of integrity. And what you can possibly do is say, these are the things that we're going to have in place. To say before I say I do, or before we go and give ketubah, what we're going to do is make sure this man has these things in place, and I'm going to have these things in place. Right? And at least it gives some sign of integrity that both parties have been able to own up and actually come through and have some form of standard. Because the virtue is nothing, the virgin of a woman is nothing but a standard of her purity. Right? So you can like institute something that literally says, yo, no. Because the reality is that the woman, like even virgin, I don't know how to go into this, like widowed women.
I wouldn't, but you can.
Okay, there's certain ways, even if a husband died, that husband, that woman will go back under the care of her kinsman.
Of her kin, thank you.
Okay, she will go back under the care of her kinsman until it was time for her to remarry. So she may not have the token of virginity, but she does have the witness of a covenant.
Okay.
And let's go to one more. Actually, let's go to one more scripture. I'm gonna end it right.
Can you continue reading? I just want to see what the punishment is for that man.
Okay, and we can keep going. So let's read verse 17 again. We keep going.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor
verse 22 and 17. I guess that was in the spirit. That had to be in the spirit.
Okay. And lo, he have given occasion of a speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughters a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him.
What?
And chastise.
Come on.
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he have brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel.
Why? Because that also that evil report, because obviously Israel got itchy ears.
That's pain and suffering.
Because
a reputation in Israel. That's all we really had was our names. And to say that that man's daughter wasn't a virgin was another way of saying she was a whore. Right? And that's what you call punitive damages. You have to pay because now you defamed her. You defamed her name. So now not only do you have to pay damage of theft, now you have to pay punitive damages because now you have smeared her reputation and the reputation of that father.
Right.
So based on how broken a lot of us are, and when these brothers get into these relationships, having children with these women, and then you got like, a lot of brothers out here now talking about, oh man, she wicked for putting me on child support and all. Well, what's the punishment? Now, when you're not going toward Torah, it's like basically you subjecting yourself to this punishment.
Right.
Being out of order.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't get mad, you know?
Finish
Okay.
19? Okay.
Yeah.
Because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days.
Right.
So she's still stuck with her.
You still with her. You because it was not, Hamashiach said it. It was not supposed to be so in the beginning. It was not supposed to be. How we know that? Because even Adam, his woman got seduced and took on the mindset of ideologies of that serpent, right? And he still had to endure because at the end of the day, it was his fault for not protecting the gates. You see? He didn't protect his gates. So she got seduced. You see? So that's why I said this is not just for women, it's for men too. We made our nation a whores and whoremongers. It was us. And now we must get it back because at the end of the day, we know some of our sisters are going to come in this thing regardless, emotional, vulnerable, and not knowing what to do. And you got to be the vanguard. Look at her more as a sister than a white first. That changes it. Respect her parents, even if they're not in the truth. That changes it. Respect yourself, knowing that you shouldn't even look at your riders go. That changes it. Same for women. Look at your stuff. Go. That changes it. Respect yourself. That changes it. Look for a relationship with the father and not man. That changes it. Because then you'll know if y'all say him. Because you know his voice through that man. But we got brothers out here not teaching our women to actually read the word for themselves. Outside they teach it and wondering why they just getting beguiled like that. Wicked men, leading silly women. Same repetitive routine. And I want to end it with this, unless you got something too. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 7. Or verse 7. It says, deliver all things in number and weight. Put all in writing that thou givest or receivest in. So we bringing this up because this is how you bring accountability. Is have it in writing. What is the actual agreement? Or even if you don't have it in writing, which we obviously see we had written covenants, right? Ketubas. Have a witness. Have a witness of what this man or woman is promising. Have a witness that this man is going to do what he said. Hold him or her accountable. Hold her and him accountable. And I believe this will remove the fornication that has crept unawares. And this so-called false doctrine, like so-called, it is false. This false doctrine of sex and marriage will then cease in Israel. Because it's producing way too much fornication. It's producing way too many whores. It's producing way too many whoremongers. And it's producing way too many broken homes. And children are on the line. Literally. Children are on the line, man. And we literally cannot afford that no more. We can't afford it. So with that, I cease. All praise to the Most High, man. Hallelujah.
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 We got any comments, questions, concerns? Let's share. I hope everybody got something out of it. Hallelujah. Sisters, y'all got something? Because this is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We for real, because we really got to do this the right way. And I know sisters don't really get this type of information on how to really do this thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's imperative that y'all know, so y'all won't keep falling into the same entrapment of fornication or being left in the dark. So, sisters, what's up?
I got from it. There's a lot of examples of not all good things are good things for you. And it doesn't mean that it's for you just because it's in line with what you think righteous looks like, perfect looks like. It may not be ordained or aligned with what God wants. Also, putting the value back into, you know, if we can't do it for ourselves, at least do it for our children. Right. Because like I said, we did grow up hearing like safe sex for marriage is free. If we really understood what that bonding means and what it actually is spiritually and physically, my message to my daughter versus what I received is don't wait till marriage. Marriage, that is it. That's the only thing it'll be, and this is why. And how important it is. And then also for my sons, the importance of how important they are. And it's not just that women are prizes and that they're not valued. They're very important too, and they carry on the lineage. So I think just getting the mindset of putting the values back into your children to know how important they are so that the new generation, we can stop the brokenness, we can stop, you know, the promiscuousness between both sexes. And then also, sex being marriage is a big thing in Israel because that literally what people think that's all you have to do. So doing it the right way and being aligned with what God really ordained for it to do is a beautiful thing. And if you've already made a mistake, you know, he winks at your ignorance, which is the blessing of his grace. You know, so we can do it the right way, get right, and then I think more important, like you said, pass it on to the generation so we can put a halt to the curses that we're suffering every single day. So the lesson was necessary and beautiful and very honest and transparent so that we can stop the nonsense.
Okay, hallelujah.
I'm going to say something that may seem a little almost contrary to what we just talked about, but it really isn't. Marriage is sex is the consummation of marriage.
Facts.
I don't think we should remove that as a fact. Where it's being misused and displaced is that it's being said that that's all it takes to be married.
Right.
It doesn't take witness. It doesn't take word. It doesn't take agreement. It doesn't take understanding. It doesn't take sitting down, hashing out, being rational, doing your due diligence. Because one thing I've learned about marriage, and especially felon, is that it's business.
Right.
It's either good business or it's bad business.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, it's going to be business. It's going to cost you, and usually cost the men more in the natural and spiritual, but it costs women much more in the emotional and the mental. And the price is very high because children tend to become the literal what word am I looking for? They become the ones that have to absorb the damage.
Okay.
They have to absorb the damage of a bad decision that's made out of lust, that you said, or made out of uninformed decision.
Right.
Not seeking counsel, not seeking those necessary things, right?
Okay.
But so I hope anybody on the broadcast or ever heard it or even in the house will understand this isn't about doing away what we understand marriage to be.
Right.
We got to have it in its proper context and proper order and understanding is only the consummation.
Right.
It's the consummation of marriage. All of the other due diligence has to be done. And I appreciate you bringing that out, because we were talking about when you first brought out this message, and it's been in your spirit, and that you said, this is what we're going to institute. You know what I mean? By doing it. And so that from here on out will be, and we got to even go back and do some things so we can get it ordered.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You're starting that, and I'll be doing it From here on out, the young men will be doing it. We'll be doing it. We want to do it we want to be honorable before the Most High. We want to be men of standard and value, and understand that a man has to be putting things on paper is something that's very, very, very definitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't get
There's no ambiguity about that. And witnesses are well, witnesses should be just as good, but something about that paper.
Israel's been, all these guys have been getting used to not being able to be on the hook. It's just an easy way of getting out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think I think what it is I believe we did things in because there is a high price, especially for black men that are doing things in through the legal system. There is great repercussion if a black man makes the wrong mistake and legally gets married. There is something that he does get. The thing is, we can't see what women are really rebellious and ain't because we don't have those witnesses to protect the men as well. You know what I mean? To where men can really stand up and say, "No, I've done everything right. You know, I went through proper protocol. I went through my elders. I did everything." So a lot of men that are being misused by women, there's nothing to witness, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? But if that's put in place, then we can say that the man did some type of due diligence,
right?
And he's integral in the sense where he's willing to go through a value protocol of leadership,
right,
and witnesses,
right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be legal, but it could be legal in Yasharala in the sense to where we can literally have a record. But the hard part is that Negroes care about their name and reputation.
That's a fact.
Because that's what it's really going to take. What does my name and reputation mean?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what our fathers had that we lacked. Even though we were integral with the Most High, nobody was. You know what I mean? You did not want your name to be bad in Israel, because if your name was bad in Israel, ain't nobody messing with you.
Right.
Ain't nobody doing business with you. Your name is your credit. It's your currency. So I believe that all it takes is the right amount of righteous men to be willing to hold each other accountable. But what does that mean for the sisters? Their accountability is going to go to a whole nother level.
That's a fact.
And that's just going to come with it. So for the sisters that want men to actually own up to who they're supposed to be, know that we're going to be looking for you to become those real women starters of Sarah. Right? What we're going to is going to be, you're going to be in the press just as much as we are. Okay?
And let's cut this understanding now too. This ain't no if he changed, I'll change thing.
Oh no.
No. You need to be changing now before you even know who he is, or even if you in a marriage, you need to be changing for the betterment for Yah, so that you can be better for him. Even if he don't change, you changing can change him. So remember, a good wife wins her husband over by what? Change conversation. And her conversation, if she's grounded, her conversation is gonna be what type of build? It's gonna be Torah build.
And it ain't gonna be this conversation.
Yeah, none of
it's
that.
Gonna be doing this. How can I increase you? You put things in my hand and I multiply. You see what I'm saying? You increasing my home.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Do you really see that man as your master? First of all, can you really see that man as your master? Because that's what he is, Hebraic. And that means you're gonna have to wait on his word.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. But Hebraically, that is the life of a married woman. Is that she submitted in all things. And so it behooves the woman that she makes sure she realizes is that master a servant? Is he a servant to the power of Yah? And is he a servant to his community? Is he a servant? How does he treat his father and his mother? What examples does he have to show these servants? Right? How does he treat people? You know, so there's ways that a woman can really check out what kind of man she's got. But she's going to have to let patience have its perfect work. And she's going to have to realize that there's only one head in the home.
Right.
We don't do two-headed monsters.
Right.
There ain't no two opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it behooves the man to realize that the woman, she's the right woman. He should see her as an ally. He should see her as a co-laborer in this war. And most of all, when all said and done, even your marriage is not yours. It's Yah's.
Right. That's the
thing.
Your
marriage is ordained, it's not yours. Right? It is not your marriage. It is his. It is your union, but it is his marriage, and it is, the reality is a failed marriage in Israel, when we say we have the truth, is a mark on Yah's reputation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blemish on his reputation. So this ain't no thing that you get in and you do by. You got to come in and be like, that's the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. I don't care if I only get 3 hours sleep. I'm going to figure out a way to make sure mine is taken care of.
Right.
As a man, if you can't do that, you ain't no husband.
Right.
What we say, a husband and a wife is a function. It's not an anatomy. It's not a person. It is a function. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
So the best thing you need to learn is, can you actually be a wife? Can you actually be a husband? There's one thing about sex, can't make you those things.
Right.
You can't. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Anybody else?
Whoa.
Everybody look. Everybody got the damn face.
No, it was good. It was good.
Y'all gotta see this from our angle. Everybody like, damn.
No, I don't mean.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I like the part where you said that Adam was made in the image of God, or Eve was made in the image of God. It was he them, because
Pick him up.
the first time I did not talk. But I think it puts a conviction on both parties. Like sometimes whenever me and my husband are like not arguing, but at odds, we always think anyways, whenever I'm mad, I was just thinking, like, whenever I'm mad at my husband or whatever, whatnot, like, sometimes I'll sit there and I'll be like, man, like, is this glorifying the Most High? And then I'll just get it together and I'll just repent or whatever, and I'll just, like, we'll just make amends with each other and stuff like that. And whatever. Like, it's just showing me, like, our relationships are bigger than just us and how we feel. You know,
that's a
just
fact.
reflecting the Most High. And then I like the story with Samson that you brought out. I think it's very like convicting, especially for young men. Like that's not how it goes. You don't bring women to your parents or whoever and think that that's gonna ordain a marriage. So I like that part too. And I just like that you're putting a conviction on us to do better. And ask ourselves what is marriage. How we really set the standard with that. All of us. That's important.
One more lesson that we should really, I think, what we could have gotten was deep. Lots of times we'll put all the onus on a woman,
right?
But us as fathers and fathers of men children, we should feel just as bad when a son would be willing to put a young girl away with a good reputation and smear her reputation just because he doesn't want her anymore, or he finds something in her that's unattractive. That should be just as embarrassing for you as a man that your son will be that unintegrity. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because lots of times we will focus on our daughters being a certain way, but we'll kind of look at our sons and be a little bit more forgiving if they make boo-boos. You know what I'm saying? We perceive as a boo-boo, but really are willing to like throw away a daughter of the Most High and dismiss her like it's like a piece of meat.
Right.
As a father, you should make sure that your son will not bring repute to your name, to your reputation. Mm-hmm. Because when it's all said and done, he is you.
Right.
So we should be just as arduous and contentious about making sure our sons have a good reputation. Okay.
In fact. Okay. So, all right, family. With that, we say shalom, shalom to the people.
Hold on, I got something to tell you.
Yeah. All right, man. So, with that being said, I do want to let everybody know who is live. This will be my last lesson with Eckadmalkutministries of America, because we will be expanding to Eckadmalkut Ministries in Tanzania. So all praise to the Most High for the expansion. So we do want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting the ministry, whether that be sharing the videos, liking, commenting, and even in some cases donating to what we're doing, which we definitely will continue to need your support and prayer, and a lot of other things that we do have coming forth. So y'all can stay tuned for that announcement. But you know, on behalf of the House of MIKA'EL, we want to say thank you to everybody who supported. We actually will be leaving at the end of July. I'm not gonna say the date, but at the end of July to Tanzania. So if anybody would like to support the mission of what we're doing, you definitely can support at on Cash App or Cash, or you can do PayPal. We do also have a GoFundMe that you can also help with as well. You can either email us, or if you have my personal information, you can contact me on how you can support. But continue to look for the videos. Like I said, we are expanding on many different levels, and we just want to say we appreciate y'all, love y'all, and may the Most High continue to bless you all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So with that, we say shalom, shalom, family.